Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terrence Bud Crawford.
Duke controls the opening tip. Blue Devils 10-0, 4 wins on the season against ranked teams, and that's Cam Boozer. And it all goes through Jeremy Fears. Kohler, little pivot inside, and here's your first bucket. And Kohler knocks down his first three.
One of the top teams in the country. Gillespie, high arcing three, finds the net.
Well, New York wasn't exactly easy to navigate. Coach Rule and the Pinstripe Bowl managed it and navigated it way better than when I coached in that game back in 2011 or whatever it was. I mean, so this is an established bowl venue, right? And so I would assume that they have a pretty good plan for, keeping guys busy and, doing the things that they're supposed to be doing and not the things that they're not supposed to be doing. Hopefully they keep me busy too. I've got lost in Vegas a few times.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill.
I can't hear you, so it's whatever.
What's up, DB?
I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
I mean, it matters a little.
Well, you're next to me, so it's fine. But
well, I lost one ear, so that's a good sign.
yeah, what a This is almost, it's like our first rodeo. Yeah, little levity from old Coach Hogerson.
Oh, I've got lost in Vegas a few times.
Is that so? Like I can't hear you, so I don't know. Is that pretty good self-awareness?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's pretty amusing.
Levity?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that what the kids call it?
Why don't we try this one over here? We got.
Would kids say levity? No, you're fine.
I don't think a lot of kids would say levity.
Oh.
I would say maybe he's keeping it a buck. Is
Okay.
that is that what the kids say?
Yep.
I'm just trying to.
They would say that.
Trying to channel my inner Cam Ward here. I'm just keeping it a buck. I got lost in Vegas a few times.
All right, then, Cam. Where would maturity of your quarterback rank?
In things that I want.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty high, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be up there. It's we talked about this with. I think we talked about this with Creighton a little bit.
Creighton?
You want and not that your quarterback's always your best player, but
Creighton?
You want your best players to be kind of the guys that do things the right way.
How did Nick put it? Makes it a whole lot. He said it's a whole lot easier.
It's a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
And so generally,
iterated it a few times.
If your quarterback is one of those guys, maturity is pretty high on that list most of the time.
A whole lot easier.
Oh, it's.
So could your quarterback say, like, if I'm keeping it a buck, we ass right now?
If you are in fact ass, I think that's pretty self-aware.
I think that's the thing that everybody was bothered about with Shedeur.
100%
was maturity.
Seems super immature. Seems like a coddled little baby.
Yeah. No.
I mean, listen, you grow up Dion's kid like it's an occupational hazard, right?
Correct.
So I'm not hating on him for it. I get it.
How you're getting your Echo game right too. This whole thing is a debacle, Shane.
Like the shoes in the 2000s, Echo.
Was that a thing?
The ECCO, you remember those?
No, there's a stretch where I wasn't super paying attention to much.
Fair.
Yeah. There's a lot that got away from me.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Lost years. Anywho, yeah,
Can we get a documentary on DB, The Lost Years?
Oh, jeez. Well, that'd be something. Day in the life when Kenny took over.
Oh, no.
Yeah, damn that guy. Do you like my heads?
Yeah, what do we got? We got one Phil Snow and one Matt Rule.
Yeah, I have to get a new one of Coach Snow in Nebraska gear. But a lot of times now I don't see him in, like, when we're around, like he's in hats. A lot of times he just has he has this nice little head of, like, wavy hair.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he seems like he's enjoying himself.
Living his best life.
You think Coach Rule's enjoying himself right now?
I think he's working pretty good.
I mean, you got to, right?
Yeah, he's busting it. I was in Tulsa.
You talked to him in Tulsa while you were in Tulsa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Last time.
I mean, he's I would imagine he's pretty busy at the moment.
Dixie, over under on Huskers entering the portal, 6.5, 3 starters. Oh, 3 starters. 3 starters.
Well, one is in. 1 starter.
He said not including.
Oh, not including. Oh,
not
so 3
including.
more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have. I mean, obviously, I didn't have a good sense on Dylan because I was like, I think he's come back. So maybe I'm not a good person to ask who I think's entering the portal.
I kind of did. Like I said, like the context. If you'd have made me choose,
yeah. Like
last week, I'd have said he was coming back.
If you had really put me to it, I'd have been like, yeah, I think he's coming back.
Yeah. Even though I kind of felt I knew most of everybody's sentiments.
I mean,
everywhere else,
you probably had more context than most people.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously you're close with the family.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel a little better that I'm not just out here on an island being a weirdo, being like, yeah, I thought he was coming back. But I don't know. Like, there's, people have been. I know Kobe says Barney. Like, people have been saying Barney's been leaving since the, last day of the season last year. Pick a time. So I don't know. Like, it's hard to, like, everybody says keep hearing. Like, where are we hearing things from?
I don't know, but I mean, JB, he's got an interesting choice just because life is pretty good for him.
Sure.
But I would imagine, so what he has to get good advice because he's not one of one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a smaller guy, pretty electric, twitchy.
Like, you can say he's not unique and not be diminishing what he is as a player.
So, but the one thing that does make him unique,
toughness.
His ability to go to work every day
mm-hmm.
is at a pretty high level. We did this.
I'll buy that.
We had a school tour last night for 8th graders and people that wanted to come check out the program, and we gave them a tour. And one of the parents, we talk a lot about effort and toughness, and one of the parents asked what toughness, like, what what does that mean?
Like, define it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we do say it a lot,
One of our guys was like, doing hard things every day because they've heard that 1,000 times, like to repeat it over and over and over again. That's Barney's superpower.
Yes.
Like if you just watch him. So I'm not saying
like he's kind of just about that life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is valuable.
Like
That's super valuable.
It is very valuable. So I don't want to say he has to be careful about just understanding you're not one of one.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have a unique skill in terms of his competitiveness.
That'll give him a chance.
Yeah, so you're not going to replicate that in all little fast guys.
For sure.
So, I mean, but again, if I'm him, I think it's very, 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 very fair for him to take a look and see what the offense may look like.
Sure, yeah.
He doesn't have to be in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean,
he doesn't have to be in a hurry.
We forget the portal's not actually open yet.
Yeah.
We got a couple more weeks.
Yeah, he's just fine.
So I do think it is totally fair if you're Ja'Cory Barney, if you're a quarterback coming in, like you're probably going to want to see what the offense is trending towards looking like. And a lot of that is going to have to do with what quarterback they bring in or decide to go with. Maybe I'm nuts. I do think there's a chance they just ride with TJ.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Like, I think they'll bring someone in for depth in the room, obviously, no matter. Like, someone will come in.
You have to get better in the room from a depth standpoint.
Absolutely, like, no question.
So, but what they settle in, I don't know. I think they're gonna monitor the development.
Sure.
We'll see what happens with. I mean, Coach Raiola had a lot of guys that liked him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens there. I'm sure Jeep's gonna have some guys.
I would think between him and Lonnie Teasley, both considered very highly touted recruiters. And, I mean, we saw the day Jeep Wade left for Nebraska, a Georgia Tech former 4-star lineman hops in the portal. Like, it's not a stretch to think they may have some guys that want to join them the same way Raiola has some guys that may leave because of him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's pretty –
And that's kind of how linemen are.
Yes, they're very like that. This is our guy.
So
We like learning from him.
That's part of that. I think that had to be part of the decision-making process too.
Oh, for sure.
Like you have to weigh the.
Hey, we like these guys in the room.
What did they call that? Collateral damage?
Yeah.
Am I using that correctly?
I believe you are.
Yeah.
Unintended consequences to
Now that
the
I
action.
know. But sometimes if I say things like that, it's like, oh my God, they think she's so smart. But I don't really know how to talk stupid unless I'm just asking a question where I'm thinking out loud. So I guess I could use like one-syllable words and stuff like that. Like
It's not necessary.
okay.
I think we all need to get smarter.
Yeah, you know.
Or at least look up be able to look things up online.
It is what it is. Yeah. Mr. Rizak is leaving Notre Dame.
I'll say
it was with his dad. Well, actually last 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, long time.
How's DJ doing?
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should text him.
He's his own barometer,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's okay.
Because his highs are pretty good.
Yeah. I was like, hey man, I love you. I gave him 2 weird hugs, and he's looking at me like, what's wrong with you? I'm good. So
I almost texted him when I saw Anthony go in the portal. I was like, bring our boy home.
Yeah. So
Because I love that dude.
I'll be with Teddy Friday mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's funny too, because getting the behind the scenes of actually what happened at Notre Dame for the bowl game. Like The fake outrage is funny, man. It's like it had almost even a playoff appearance for some of these guys was going to be difficult given their health.
Oh, sure.
Like it's like
Yeah.
who we playing with? Who's not going to play? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, oh, do we have enough guys?
But people think they know, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
Did you ever we didn't get to the Klatt thing, so I know you want to get to
yeah, we'll get to it.
But 6.5 starters, 3. I think that is a tremendous 6.5 is the line. 6.5. Sure. That's a good line.
That seems close.
That's a good line.
Yeah, and honestly, if that's what
who came up with that? I missed it. I feel like I have clarity this morning.
Yeah? You feel good?
Well, I can it's fine. Like it's like I can see the outlines.
That's a plus. That's a bonus.
I didn't even
Should be a good morning then.
Oh, it was our guy Wrecked.
I prefer Dixie.
Oh, okay. I thought
I knew a Dixie.
I thought Mr. Wrecked was maybe No? Okay. We'll stick with Dixie.
Yeah. She married my friend TJ. Doesn't that sound like a nice all-American couple?
Dixie and TJ.
Dixie and TJ.
Yeah.
The Scribners.
Seems like they would. From Scribner or the Scribners?
He's from Brownell. He's from here.
Okay.
His dad was a teacher at Talbot, and she's from Derby, Kansas.
One of my cousins went to Brownell.
Just outside of Wichita.
Yeah. Wichita? Your favorite place in Kansas?
Not a lot going on in Wichita.
Honestly, if
R.I.P. Boeing.
If Nebraska only lost 6 or 7 guys to the portal, 6.5, right? Over under.
Are we talking about like in the 4 deep?
I would say, honestly, I would. Would you be I don't know if upset's the right word. If they lost 6 guys from the 2 deep, so 44, is that a lot or not to you?
It is not.
I don't think so either.
It's not.
Like if it's only 6, I think I'm cool.
Yeah, it's not.
Like in that neighborhood, I think there are a lot of people that thought there was a much more disastrous scenario on the horizon of a mass exodus because of the way the season ended. So we felt panicked. So we thought the team might feel panicked. If it's 6 guys from the 2 deep, I think I'm good.
Yeah. Headley, I did have some.
Especially if it's the 2 deep that we saw against Penn State and Iowa. I'm all right with, some of those guys can move on. I'm okay.
Now they have some weird guys like McGahee and some tweener guys that had those tricky red shirts.
Yeah, we're like, hey, are we gonna have enough reps for them? They probably could play.
So those guys will be interesting.
Yeah.
But that just comes with the territory. I'm not even gonna overthink that. Like
there's also, it depends on who the 6 are too, right?
Yeah.
Like I have certain affinity. Like if Keona Davis leaves, I'll be bummed. I love Keona Davis.
Yeah.
Right. If Williams Winery leaves, I'd be pretty bummed.
I don't know if Keona's parents would want to move again.
Well, that's fair, but you know what I mean? Like there's certain guys that would affect me in terms of how I feel about the 6 more than others.
Yeah.
But if I'm just saying blind slate, you tell me 6 from the 2 deep are leaving, I think that's actually pretty good retention from Nebraska.
Yeah. Headley, I had a nice, it wasn't even a meal. I just took a chunk. I made an amazing ham. What's today?
Today is Wednesday.
All right. So Josie went into labor. So Monday is me and Breeze. And so that's when we always take advantage of stuff we would eat. So I did this. It was only like a 5.5 pounder.
Little ham, you said?
Yeah.
Your ham is good.
I put it on a rack.
I'll mess around with some ham.
Little water. I used a mix of like it was Dijon, smokehouse, port mustard, splash or wash your sister, a little hot sauce, and some hot honey drizzle.
Yeah. I'm a big hot honey guy.
Warmed it and I basted. I cut some slits in it and I basted it, put it in the oven I went 2 hours at 250. Then the last 45 minutes, I cranked it up to like 375 and got this color.
Get a little, yeah.
Anyway, short story long. Of course, I sliced it up. You know, I had some leftovers. I put them in 2 containers. I did put them in the refrigerator when I left this morning. But I had this fat chunk this morning before I got in the shower. It is so flipping good.
Oh, that's a panty dropper.
For sure, baby.
Ooh. So I don't know with ham.
Ravi, it was delicious.
No. I mean,
it was delicious.
Ham
is
is
so juicy.
Ham is very good. I like ham a lot. But sometimes ham is processed enough, you might be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you don't.
It was just.
I know you
good.
don't care.
I don't think about.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I don't think about whether or not I should put it in the fridge. I know. I'm aware.
Hey, JD, Shane, what's your email? JD, Wrestling JD wants to know. I was all in on Coach Manning's presser. I'm ready for North Kakalaki and Okie State. They've sold like 5,200 tickets for Okie State on Sunday.
Nice. There you go.
And they're actually healthy this time.
Okie State, that's AJ Ferrari revenge match, isn't it?
Yeah, and AJ Ferrari is healthy.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, my man is certifiable.
He's like that.
Absolutely.
But they may have found one. They better figure out what to do with Raiola.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because they give out these awards each week, and he won it a couple weeks ago. They give out like this championship belt for. There's a couple of parameters that you have to do to win it, and Cade Raiola won it a couple weeks ago. Just filled in at 85, and was mauling folks at Missouri.
That's your dude. You love that guy.
I love him.
That's your guy.
I love him. So it was so funny. Did I tell you the story at the physician's clinic?
I don't think so.
So Micah was getting his physical, and Cade was leaving as I was coming, but it's a pediatrician. And he saw me and I saw him, and it was like star-crossed lovers. And I worried that I was going to overdo it. And my man's hug hurt me. He's like, man, appreciate,
yeah.
So we talked for like 4 or 5 minutes, and he was getting this bursa deal looked at on his elbow. But yeah, it was a huge weekend, and they're finally healthy, Ravi. And I know you're not all in on wrestling.
No, I know they were banged up when they had those big matches
duels.
and national duels. Yeah.
Yeah, they're healthy.
Yeah,
Rougeau, they're good to go.
Listen, I'm sort of.
You better get on the hype train.
You know how once every 4 years in the Olympics, Americans care about sports they've never heard of before because Americans are good at it. Yeah. That's sort of how I am with Nebraska. Like, if Nebraska is good at something, like, I'll find a way to get on board. I'm not going to be able to talk to you about like picking.
You like wrestling?
No, I like watching it. It's just I'm not going to be able to talk to you about like picking ankles and stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to be able to probably get into the weeds with you. But I watched a bunch last year.
Let's go.
Let's
go. So this whole back to this whole quarterback thing.
Yeah, Mestamaker's not coming here, guys. Sorry, he's not.
Hey, so Shane, somebody on Twitter asked me about oh man, I can't be getting random texts while I'm doing the show. I can't focus.
Lock in.
Team Brock Hardy. Hey, listen to me, Shane. I need you to find the clip. I got this question on Twitter. And Shane, it's the part where Coach Hogo says, he goes, question for the show today, guys. I'm trying to make sense of Holgerson's answer about finding a quarterback and saying that they want the best and then adapt to that guy. I've always been under the impression that OCs found guys to fit them. So, Anthony, that is fair. I'll tell you. Well, first of all, would you like to tackle that first with quarterbacks coming out of the portal versus high school?
I don't make a huge distinction.
It's a very good question. I don't really know him. What if I called him
Anthony?
But it's
so he's one of our listeners. I don't remember. He's the guy that
Ant's in the stream?
Yeah, he's one of the.
So I can call him Ant.
Yeah. I don't remember which one he is.
Is he a Tony guy?
I don't know. He's one of the guys who it's not their name in the stream. I can't remember which alias it is. But the one for me, it like when you're talking about skill sets of quarterbacks, obviously you're looking for different things out of high school and transfer portal, but I don't think it makes a huge difference. I just think that's more of the development of that skill set. If I'm talking about actual skill sets, I think, and I don't want to put words in Dana Holgerson's mouth here, I think when he's talking about we're just looking for the best and we'll adapt from there, I think you're talking about we're looking for the best within a certain skill set. Because he gave a couple options, right?
That is correct.
He goes, hey, if you're looking at Hawaii, you were looking at a certain type of quarterback. Obviously, if you're looking at 90s Nebraska, you were looking at a certain type of quarterback.
Yeah, that was actually Anthony's examples.
Yeah, I'm tagged in there. I read it.
Oh. Well,
I wasn't just picking Hawaii randomly. I think he brings up Wisconsin and Iowa too, right?
Yeah. That would have been weird.
It would have been super weird if I went Hawaii out of
like,
nowhere.
How does this dude reference Timmy Chang when
Dude, I was a big Timmy Chang guy.
When my man Ant referenced Hawaii.
Me and my buddy, we stayed up way too late all the time because we were in college, and we were just like Timmy Chang honks.
I just like Timmy Chang's name.
I was a big June Jones guy, and I was like, oh, he went to SMU, took him the first bowl game in like 30 years. I was a big June Jones
Josh
guy.
is nuts.
But
Josh is in the know though. He ain't no dummy.
So
what's wrong with this dude?
To answer his question, I think you're looking for the best quarterback within the skill set that you like.
I would agree.
Right?
I think that's exactly what he's talking about.
So you're not getting like hyper specific, like he has to be able to do this and he has to be able to do this and he has to be able to do this. But there are some non-negotiables. Like if you're in Nebraska and you're running an option system in the 90s, you're not going to recruit Peyton Manning, right? That's not on the table. But
although
it is,
people. Again, we tell these stories as though.
So I think I was kind of gonna go here. The skill set difference between like a Tommy Frazier and a Brooke Behringer was pretty dramatic.
Yeah, it's dramatic.
But there were bare minimums that Brooke met. Obviously, Tommy Frazier exceeded those bare minimums in a lot of ways. But they had very different skill sets, but both were capable of running the system effectively. It just looked different.
And the same year, the same recruiting class. And I know this is frowned upon to like speaking facts, but Coach Osborne recruited Ben Roots out of Oklahoma and T. Fraze out of Bradenton. They couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more different. Ben could spin it, really good athlete. Well, that was T. Fraze was a good athlete too. But he was a thrower. And sometimes, and Ben and I got close. Like, I was a big Roots guy.
Yeah.
I liked everybody. R-U-T-Z.
Yeah.
R-U-T-Z.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I would never shout out right, but I would never name my kid Toby. Okay. Just move on.
Wasn't going to say anything.
Carry on. My wayward son. Like, boy? No, son. I said son. Anywho. Did that make you uncomfortable?
Sun? Like sunshine?
You are my. So, like, it happens.
Yeah.
Right? Tom Haas and Mickey Joseph were overlapped, right? Mike G had certain skill sets, but were different than, like, let's say, Godowski.
Sure.
So I'm with you 100%. But, I mean, we've seen guys on the roster like Bunch and Armstrong and You look up and down the roster, and it's like, wait a minute, these quarterbacks
Don't look anything alike.
they're all different.
So here's the only.
So it's not like, I mean, I get like we're boys. I get Anthony's question
For sure.
but I think when you take the best available, it's working within the parameters of what you want.
Yeah, what your system requires, right?
Yeah.
I do think there's
You could call DJ and ask him what he thinks of Minchie.
his
name comes up quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin? Isn't it Kevin Menchie?
Yep.
Yeah. Supposed to be a pretty good quarterback out of Notre Dame there. Didn't obviously get a chance to play, but I also think there's so the reason I kind of made a face when you said Armstrong and Andrew Bunch, I think a lot of people within the fan base look at some of those teams between basically Callahan, because Callahan knew what he wanted, whether he, accomplished it or not. He had a pretty good idea what he wanted offensively. And I guess to now and say, yeah, for a lot of that time, we had no idea what we wanted at quarterback. So a lot of those guys were going to look different, Bo knew he wanted a mobile quarterback, and that was about it, right? Like the difference between.
Do we remember and this isn't like a positive, but what I'm saying is it happens where like he and Beck were trying to get on page with this evolution of what they wanted the QB position to look like.
Yeah.
Or Mike Riley having to go study in the off season about dual threat quarterbacks so he could best utilize TA. Like those are all real things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the quarterback spot, yeah, it's like you didn't have this problem because all the girls liked you in school, Shane. But if it were you, like you could say, oh, these are kind of my guidelines. And you may not get any returns.
Sure.
And you may have to adjust.
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, well, which one of these?
I liked Tina. I liked Amy. I liked Ann. Oh, Sarah was cool. What's another? Margaret. She was. Yeah, she had
Margaret.
Maybe go.
I'm gonna settle on Shayna. She has like 6 of those 13 qualities.
So that's the thing, right? Is you have to start deciding which
Is
of
Shayna
these
okay?
which of these things are non-negotiables.
Kind of like Natasha.
How about like a Jenny
Yeah, how about that? With an IE.
or a Katie?
Katie? Sure.
Like Katy, Texas?
No, that is with a T.
Yeah, Katy, I think. Yeah, it's spelled a little weird, but it's with a T. But
I
yeah,
almost said D like KD. Do you know people that pronounce T's as D's?
yeah.
Does it bug you?
No, I don't care
Well, why are you always correcting me about I's and E's?
because those are different words.
Pen and pen are not different. I mean, they're different words, but I said them correctly. By the way, where's Wyatt? I need him. It is Katie. Man, Cactus. Hey, Jack, that's why I was hoping we went to Nashville. I was going to try to.
You're gonna try and meet Cactus Jack?
Man, I know he would have been there.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely.
There's a couple of our listeners I want to meet that are older than me.
Yeah.
I want to meet Kansas City Mike
Okay.
and Cactus Jack. I think Todd seems like a funny guy. He's a Steelers fan.
Yeah, well, I mean, you and your Steelers fans, whatever, Oh,
I don't get along with all of them.
You like Amazing Daniel?
Kinda. We texted. I asked him a question. Shane, do you remember when I butchered the whole Jim Caviezel and Henry Cavill thing?
Trying to forget it. Yes.
One's Superman, the other one's Jesus.
So that was the argument.
Yeah.
And this went on for,
A minute.
I don't know, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was like the 3rd or 4th time that I accidentally had butchered some actresses and actresses.
Yeah.
Right. I had a Charlize Theron and Cameron Diaz gaff.
Yeah, they're different people.
I had a couple of country music guy gaffs. So this Caviezel Cavill thing went on and Shane found pronunciations, and he just would play them over and over. He'd be like,
No, Shane played things over and over and
Dude,
over
it
and
was-
over and over and over.
and so I asked him about The Witcher because I'm gonna finish the seasons of The Witcher.
Cavill.
But he's off now.
Yeah, he was, but that was.
So
yeah.
I texted him and I was like, "Hey, why'd they get rid of Caviezel and go with Liam?"
Mm-hmm.
And it was so, but he was a little upset with me for saying Ding Dong, and I kept telling him, I said Dan. The amazing Dan. I didn't say ding dong, but then he cropped it and played it. He goes, yeah, not so much. But anywho, I like the QB thing.
Mm-hmm.
You need a couple of benchmarks.
Yeah, you have to have a couple non-negotiables.
And outside of that, I think they can play ball because he's played it a different way. We went through the laundry list. It just so it's very ironic,
mm-hmm.
right? Because I went from, are you talking about Keenum or Whedon
or
Geno Smith and then the RIP to your engagements if you were on there, because everybody was kind of firing back with like what they felt like the system was,
mm-hmm.
and I don't know if I saw the same repeated answer.
Yeah, and I do think that sort of goes into his answer yesterday where it goes, we'll adapt to the guy we get.
And it doesn't really matter
mm-hmm.
as long, like, at some point when we stop, when we're not sending all little guys and DBs to the podium
mm-hmm.
and we're not talking about quarterbacks, Nebraska will win a lot of games. Because do you know what we'll be talking about? We'll be talking about guys that play closer to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback play is extremely overrated if you're good up front. What you do on the back end is extremely downplayed, no matter how good your experience is. I don't know if you want your secondary to be your best position group.
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't.
My point is like the better they get with that,
mm-hmm.
they'll be fine. With the daunting schedule.
Am
I don't know if you heard.
Right or wrong that
What?
Tyler Knack kind of sounds like Andre the Giant a little bit?
So Tyler Knack was on, I'll go back 2 years
mm-hmm.
on Knack. He was on the recruiting panel. So he definitely he definitely had like the player recruiting
mm-hmm.
panel. Now, they also use James Williams, but James Williams' story in terms of will resonate
mm-hmm.
with guys that are wanting to be on campus, because it's not always this cookie cutter, you get the consummate student athlete coming out of high school kind of story,
mm-hmm.
right? So you need all varieties.
Mm-hmm.
But Tyler Knack was on that panel. He talks like a 74-year-old man.
Yes, he does. And he dropped one of the coldest lines of the offseason.
Which was?
You either commit to a school or you commit to a dollar amount.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't the first time he's heard that.
No. So it's Dank. Dank is Ant.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Brian, he's such a miserable hater. I'm not going to sell you any BS, Brian. You don't have to listen. Why log in? Have a Coke and a smile, B. Go be happy.
So Dank asks, he asked the QB question because he was trying to figure out what we wanted the identity on offense to be.
I bet Brian's a lot of fun at parties.
Maybe. Depends on how lost he gets in Vegas.
Jamie Christmas.
Well,
maybe.
I think there's non-negotiables.
What BS did I sell you on Rule? You guys.
Well, you know how people get.
I'm not even. We're not doing this.
You know how people get.
All right. Do you want me to guess on what cut it would be?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna. There's two possible ones. I'm gonna play the shortest one.
Okay.
Oh, there's a lot of video. So you watch video, you look at the overall body of work. The way I do it, the way I look at it is you get the best player you can, and I think we can mold our coaching around what the best player is and what those skill sets are. Mobility is important. I think TJ brings an element of mobility that is refreshing and helpful. But you got to have that ability to be able to sit in the pocket and make the throws as well.
Give me the next one.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. It's an interesting question based on the conversations I've been having for 2 days now. And we haven't made those decisions. And I can argue, it'd be good to bring young kids in. I could argue it'd be good to bring an older kid in. I just think you need to look at it because that position is, competition is very important in that position. What typically happens if you bring too much competition in, when the thing gets resolved, they leave. That's happened in that room when they had to sit. You lose the battle, you leave, and you go transfer, and you got to sit a year. And so, yeah. But but because of that rule, I think it's you'll be able to get guys to come in for a competition perspective when they know they can leave if they don't win the job. There's that aspect of it too. So I just think you evaluate them, you try to find the best fit. Like I said, January 2nd is going to be crazy. You know, when we can't talk to kids now. We can't bring kids in. We can't, you know, you can probably gauge some interest, so to speak, but I don't know if we're going to have that answer until we can be able to sit face to face and be able to bring guys in to see what the absolute best fit is. Best players need to come in. I mean, we need to continue to get better players in here, and you know, it obviously starts at that position.
That part was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was all interesting.
Which part?
Well, I mean, he kind of told you what the non-negotiables were.
Some of us are really good at multitasking.
Yeah.
Others need to stay dialed.
Like, no, I mean, I think I thought he told you exactly what the non-negotiables were within that answer. Is like he's talking about, hey, yeah, we want a guy that's a little bit mobile. Like that was the first thing that came out of his mouth after, hey, we're gonna get our coaches to adapt to the skill set. He goes, but we want a guy that's a little bit mobile. So I think that's number one on the checklist.
Does it make sense? And maybe this, would you guys entertain, and gals, because we have a lot. Like the better you are in other places, it allows you more flexibility in others. So let's say they get a clear picture of what they're going to look like up front.
Mm-hmm.
It can tinker or give you some variance in how you look at the quarterback spot versus this is the way I would do it.
Yeah.
So of course I think it's right. Versus this is my quarterback. This is how we better play up front.
So basically the exact opposite of how the team was built the last 2 years.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just telling you.
I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. They got the 5-star quarterback, legacy guy, and they're like, oh, we got to figure out how to win with this guy. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a secret. That's not inside info. That's
hey.
That's a secret. That was a pretty good one. You hear that? That was solid.
It wasn't too bad.
Hey, that's a secret.
You have to say quit, though.
No, he says, hey, not quit.
See quit.
Oh, see quit.
No, you're too much Stewie. So when you say W's, you can't change.
What?
It's see quit.
See quit?
Don't watch me when I'm doing stuff.
Where?
See quit? See quit?
No.
See what?
Absolutely not.
No, I mean, it's not.
Were you a Peaky Blinders guy?
Oh, yeah. Love that. I'm the one that told you to watch Peaky Blinders.
TK. It's gin is the terrible Bombay Sapphire drink that
what's wrong with Bombay?
What's
wrong with Bombay, huh?
I'm more of a New Delhi guy.
We call it Mumbai now.
Mumbai.
The
dude off Thundercats?
No, I don't know who that is.
Is Mumbra.
That's different.
Mumbra! Did you ever watch the Thundercats?
I thought it was Mumra.
Is it Mumra?
Yeah. Now, I'm sure TK will probably correct me on that.
TK's 12. He wasn't watching Thundercats.
But he knows everything.
He's going to Google like everybody else.
Google?
GIB.
Google me.
Yeah, it was the opposite of what happened.
Yeah.
That's the whole free to be me thing.
But that's and it's not.
Here goes. Get your boy. Get your boy.
That's funny.
What's wrong with him? Austin, do you like black people, and does Rico count?
I think Austin really likes black people.
No, I don't.
I do.
I don't.
You know who his favorite one is?
One.
What? Well, he has a favorite. Everybody has a favorite.
His favorite one, like what? An item on a shelf?
No, of his black friends.
Who's that?
Tyrone.
You've been sitting on that one, haven't
Yeah.
you? You're a child. His favorite one. Like a pet one, something that he maybe sits on the shelf.
Okay, boy. All right.
Oh, don't deflect now.
No,
there are no BCDs.
Stones, Glass House.
Do you know who his favorite one is? I've never called you my favorite Indian.
No, I know that.
I've never even referenced it. I don't even see color.
Okay.
Well, it's ambiguous. I need clarity.
The ambiguously brown duo. That's what they call us.
Bye.
What voice was that? You good?
I'm black and I'm hoping.
Wyatt wants to know who your favorite Asian is.
Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt's number one?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also technically Asian, so that's a little hurtful.
How?
India's in Asia. You know
the
that, right?
vicinity
No,
of.
it's not. It's in Asia. It is squarely in Asia.
I'd like to talk quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks. No, I do. It is the exact.
Hey, it's a secret.
That's a secret.
Oh, good.
It's
Hey,
the
that's the secret.
it's the exact opposite of how the team was built over the last 2 years.
I don't know who my favorite Hispanic is. Might be Lupe,
We're just coming up with a list.
but I kind of like Juan too.
Do Puerto Ricans count?
So I have a really good buddy, and he's Puerto Rican.
Oh yeah, don't forget about SkyMex.
No, he's the nicest.
That dude's awesome. We love SkyMex.
Oh, you talk about good natured. Like, he's that clearly the nicest.
Oh yeah, he brought us some gifts last time he was up here.
Well, you almost talked me off the ledge about helicopters, and I'm terrified.
Oh, nobody's talking me off the ledge about helicopters. Never. Not a million years.
I was having a bad stretch, like competitive, like get your ass in gear kind of stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always I gamify everything. And I was like, man, I got to start attacking life again, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? And I was like, would I pick motorcycles, guns, or a helicopter? Which one am I going to conquer? It's my 3 biggest fears.
It's
motorcycles is last.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Freaking bats.
Helicopters is 100% last for me.
Yeah, but helicopters, like somebody much better and more skilled than me can take care of me.
Yeah, that's logical.
I'm responsible for me on a motorcycle.
That's logical.
And shooting a gun, it's a skill.
Skill.
I can master that.
You could always ride sidecar.
I'm coaching them. So do you want to further my anxiety over guns? This is so dumb because we're talking about quarterbacks, but I coach a player who has a perfectly half-circled scar.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly half-circled scar because he was hunting through a scope.
Oh.
And the
recoil?
Is it recoil or coil?
Recoil.
And the recoil got him.
Ugh.
Yeah, he missed like 4 days of practice. It's like a perfect half circle.
That's not great.
And I'm like, see? That's why I'm not doing that.
You know, you could use a gun that doesn't have a scope. That would eliminate that particular fear.
Because I see so well?
Well, you'd probably go to the eye doctor.
I would be like a sniper guy.
Not a good one.
I can wear glasses.
You'd have to go to an eye doctor.
Thanks, Mr. Exhorter.
You'd have to go to an eye doctor.
See, that's one of your gifts you got from the old Lord.
No one's ever accused me of that.
Jeez. Wow.
You go to an eye doctor, I will reevaluate my take on you as a sniper. Go to an eye doctor one time.
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm old now. Who cares? As long as I don't get cataracts.
Might be easier to see some things. I don't know. Might help.
I got readers.
And they work so well.
So I need to ask. I'm gonna get the skinny on Minchie because everybody keeps throwing Minchie at me. I got a couple of dark horses though.
Oh, you want to toss him out there?
No.
Okay.
Because he's not in the portal yet.
Oh, okay. Hasn't made any announcements.
Mm-mm.
I'd be surprised if it's a guy.
I don't.
we're
Kill
talking
Jim.
about a lot.
I don't hate eye doctors. I'm just afraid. He said use the Medicare. This place is not for uplifting.
So Jose Bueno, not your favorite Hispanic?
That is Jose Bueno. What are we doing with our names?
Maybe his name is Jose.
Hey.
I'm guessing his last name isn't Bueno.
I was not going to go into character.
You sure?
Yes.
What about Mbai?
Got away from me.
I think David's got your answer right there.
What David say? I can't. Which David? Where?
I don't see a David at all. Oh, I can see Damon as a sniper, but he would have to have been there he'd have to have been there to adjust the scope.
Now that's funny. So it got screwed up during the Iowa game.
Yeah.
And Ben and I have worked together so much now where I don't have to say anything.
You just hand it to him.
So it wasn't just that. It was I can give the motions.
Mm-hmm.
So I did.
Is that the motion for I can't read?
So I'm like far away. It's still a little fuzzy. So then I hand them to him. He doesn't say a word, and he gives me like that's how we do. That's how
I still don't understand how a different person's eyes adjust to your binoculars.
Because it's close enough, and then I can do the government work.
Okay, you gotta just get in the minute details.
He
there.
even taught me. He goes, "No, you have to set them like this. Like use kind of your eyebrows as the ledge." And say, like there were some nuances. You don't just jam them in your eye sockets and be like, I can't see so good.
Like the scope.
I think so. Yeah.
So don't put it up there like the scope and get a little.
Shut up.
Listen, I'm not making fun of you. You got.
Yes, you are
making fun of your kid.
I'm Ben's kid.
Whoever got eye hold by the scope.
Oh yeah, my man Seahawk. It's like it's a perfect curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want that. You gotta watch out for that.
So Thomas told me I just need to learn how to shoot. He's a bow hunter.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not near as big and strong as he is. Like the poundage on his bows.
Yeah.
And this dude can shoot.
Some of those are intense.
Anything.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he's a certified killer.
I think they've got different tensions. You could start lower if you wanted.
Yeah. He was my protector.
I don't really know how all that works, but I would assume.
Yeah.
I've seen kids like bow hunt before, so they probably got like a little.
So Jose is not Juan?
No. Those are different people.
Well, where's Juan today?
I don't know where Juan is today. Maybe this is Juan's burner.
Jose boy. So you think somebody's name is Jose Good?
No, I think Jose is his name, and then Bueno is an adjective. He's like, hey, I'm the good Jose. Maybe he knows a bad Jose.
This dude.
Maybe he knows a Jose Muy Mal. I don't know.
Muy Mal, very bad.
Yeah. If there's a good Jose, is there a bad Jose?
Hey, Jose.
I don't know if you can say that.
Wait, Jose, your government is Jose Bueno?
Not a chance. Who's Now, I knew a gentleman with the last name Good.
I did too, actually. I went to high school with a Good.
I played with Ty Good.
So,
and I called him All to the Good. That's what I've always called him, All to the Good.
So if
his name is Jose Good? I mean, Bueno?
That's incredible. That's great.
That is fantastic.
I mean, if English can be good, why can't Spanish can't be bueno? That's the same thing.
Huh. Wish I had a cool name.
I've seen people with last names like Fortuna, which just means luck.
I knew a Fortuna.
See, yeah. So
Pam. No, it wasn't Fortuna. It was Fortune.
Which is
Pam Fortune.
Same idea.
Huh.
We're in the neighborhood.
All right. Back to quarterback.
I mean, we had a Marlon Lucky.
Yeah.
Is Jose Bueno really that far out there?
So what if his name was like Juan Fuerte?
Like Joseph Forte?
Like strong.
Yeah. Forte is also like it's another version of that. Like there's Fuertes out there. Fortes.
Hot danger. I'm over this. I can't stand our stream. I blame Brian. What BS you gonna feed us today, DB? Rule sucks and you know it.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't, Brian.
Why are you feeding us so much BS, DB?
It's what I do.
Why?
My favorite is when I'm in passing and I kind of tell a story, and then other people in similar roles as mine try to regurgitate the story, and they don't get it right. So it leaves everybody confused. That's my favorite. If you're going to retell a story that I intimated, be like, hey, I was talking to Damon. And then I can clarify.
Yeah. Instead of like passing off the information as if you heard it firsthand or, that'd be a nice thing to do. Cite your sources.
Nah.
Just high school stuff. It's fine.
Wow.
Well, citing your sources. That's where you learn it in papers,
I always felt like that was a little too detailed, didn't you?
It annoyed me so much. Listen, especially when you got to college and they wanted it in a certain format. They're like, hell no, yeah, your citation page.
Even the What's the little things that you
The
use?
footnotes?
Yes.
I hated them. Hated footnotes. So dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
It's the first thing we've agreed on.
Let me just write my stuff and we'll figure it out later. It's fine.
So we got a Jose Bueno. We got a Juan. We got a Skymex. We got Asian Wyatt.
Skymex is not his government name.
No, I know. We met
Okay.
him.
I'm just making sure.
What is going on? I don't even really recognize what we're doing.
Yeah, MLA format's the worst, Rowdy. I hated that stuff. Hated it.
How do these people just know this stuff like off the top?
Because they're traumatized like we are.
Oh, my man JMPP. Joseph is where you been, buddy?
He's no love. We love the Italians.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
that's my dude.
I'm not here for plagiarism, Travis. I just don't want to have to put it in a.
You know, Travis is like a realist.
I just don't want to have to put it in like a specific format. Like, let me just list the places where I got my info. I don't want to have to do like MLA format and footnotes and blah, all this stuff.
Look at dang coyote. Oh, yeah. Shout out to anybody that can be on that time zone, blow some trees, and hop on the street with us.
We don't know that he starts the day that way.
I'm sorry, Dank. I don't want to assume.
Maybe he ends the day that way. Maybe he's an edible guy. We don't know.
Sorry.
We don't know.
Whose voice is that?
I don't know. Sometimes I just do stuff. Whose voice was bye?
Would I ever live that down?
Probably not. I know you screwed up because you went on the offensive immediately. When you know, you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. You start throwing stuff at me in a hurry.
Yeah. It's called deflecting. Wow.
Or, as our friend Terrence Crawford, little parry, just parry that away. Boom. DJ wants to be Caucasian Dave.
Well, isn't that white boy Rick?
Can we just call him White Dave?
White. Stewie Dave.
White Dave.
I don't know, man. There's been a Black Rob, so why not?
Yeah, why not?
Hey, Black DB. Huh? What?
I think you have to self-give those names. Somebody else gives it to you. It's like I couldn't have nicknamed Wyatt Asian Wyatt. That would have been out of pocket. But
oh man, Rowdy might be one of us. You might be OOU, Rowdy. He's all right.
Wyatt says DB doing his Indian Callahan impression.
Hey, Husker fan.
Bye.
Wow. Does Wyatt even look like he would be funny?
I just not how I thought that sentence was gonna end.
What do you think I was gonna say? Like some guys, you could just like they got a chance.
He's very unassuming.
Dude is funny.
Really, really funny. Really, really funny.
It's not what I expected.
That's not how I thought that sentence was gonna end.
Nah, for the next day or so, I'm gonna try to keep my job.
Funky says, "Can I be Cajun giblets?"
Oh, is he Cajun?
Apparently, or maybe he's just making it up. I don't know.
Hey, giblets, you can be whatever you want.
Travis says, "Should I change my name to Saltine Sladkey?"
Dude's funny.
I like Travis a lot.
I don't even think you can say that.
What? Saltine?
Because I think people get the. It's fine.
What? Cracker?
What, like you're salty?
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Saltine crackers like soup. He seems like a big chili guy.
Oyster.
Oyster crackers are good. I like oyster crackers.
Overrated.
What?
Overrated.
You just don't like salt. Eanes.
Shane,
can you be like a saltine light? Sodium free?
Not doing this.
Do you know you can't put more than 6 saltine crackers in your mouth and like chew them without like having a whole thing? Have you seen people try and do
put
that?
That to the test.
Have you seen people try and I think it's 6. It might be 12. I don't remember. I think it's 6 though.
12 seems absurd.
12's a lot. I think the saltine challenge is 6. I think it's 6 saltine crackers. Your mouth like dries up.
Outside of raisins and sunflower seeds and chocolate chips, what are you getting 12 of in your mouth?
M&M's? I can do M&M's. Skittles. Jinx. We should go to break. Good job. Deep breath. Deep breath, DB.
For sure getting booted.
I'm Indian Ravi. That's Black DB. We'll be right back. Hurrdat Sports Live.
Talking quarterbacks.
TJ's been kind of slowly working his way into it. We're being kind of cautious with it. The worst thing in the world that could happen right now is to turn him loose in a full, in a full practice, and he re-injures the hamstring. So those things take a little bit of time, and fortunately we have a little bit of time here. So I'd sure like to be working with him more. He's obviously still in a developmental stage in his career, so not having the full practices is, it is what it is, but he's totally engaged and taking a ton of mental reps and going through all the Indy. He's keeping his arm, keeping his arm in shape and doing all the drills, just kind of doing it at his speed as opposed to being in like team settings where he would have to like pull the trigger on some things, so we're just kind of being cautious with it right now.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrist Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
I would say it's been a lot of ups and downs, but for the most part, I feel like I've made tremendous improvement on and off the field, whether it's film study, just extra work, and just putting my all into it and just taking it day by day. So I feel like it's been going good. I feel like I really like improved because like I would talk to like Rule and stuff like that, like just me just being in the game just helps me just get accommodated to like just playing. Like if you do something for a long period of time, like you're going to get better at it regardless. So I feel like just me getting those reps really helped me. So I feel like they've been tremendous additions to the room. They bring great energy every day, push us to our limits, and just even though they just got in, it's like we've known them for a month. So it's like I just feel like they've been a great addition to that room. So excited to see where he takes us.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's about those guys up front. I was like, what are we going to do now? And Emmett came in and I was like, look, whatever you say to me, it ain't going to change how I feel about you whatsoever, and so by him not playing and going to the NFL, I just gave him a big hug, and thanked him for everything that he did. Love that kid. With that said, what's next and who's next? What's next and who's next? Ike looks good. Makai looks good. Quentin's out there practicing hard. Kenneth is out there practicing hard, and just excited to see what they can do.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brian CHRISTOPHERSON, Husker 24/7. What's up, BC?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
B Sizzle. It's not the same when you're on the phone, but I know you're with us in spirit.
It's all my wife's fault, so blame her. She's sitting next to me, too, so if you want to take some shots, go ahead.
Hey, now the last time this happened, you had one of the better, funny segments ever. Are you sure you're dialed? No,
I thought we Men in Black. I thought we put the Men in Black wand over that whole situation and didn't remember that.
Hey, if you're gonna get a flash, and I want you to remember this never happened. It didn't work, BC. It didn't work.
Yeah. I forget exactly what I said, but it wasn't fit for children as I remember it.
It's very NC-17ish.
Unlike the rest of the show, which is very family friendly.
I'm more like Agent K.
BC, if you had, I don't know.
I was offended by your saltines talk. You're lucky I'm even on the show right now.
BC, that wasn't me. They kind of walked.
All right.
What's your favorite go-to cracker?
I don't think I have one.
Well, I know you rock with Cheez-Its. I mean kind of more like the, like Ritz or Saltine.
I'm a big club cracker guy. I love club crackers.
Club guy?
Yeah, I'm a big club crackers guy.
I guess I'm a saltines guy, which makes sense, right? So
so that's probably what I would go to. Or you know what I like? I'll tell you, I got it. My favorite. That's not like a wafer crispy deal because I eat like these Simply Thins. And they're amazing. They're like a
they're like a grain cracker. They're like
they're unbelievable.
You're from Costco?
But I'm a big sesame
those
guy.
are really good.
But if I'm gonna go with something that looks like a cracker, and Natasha's cooking for me, and she's made this charcuterie board, I'm going with sesame toasted.
Oh, okay.
Good. Those are good.
Do those are they like Parmesan crisps or something? Is that what?
So there are flavors, but if I'm just gonna go with like a closer to a standard, I like sesame. Like I love sesame sticks. I used to eat them as a snack. I like those sesame toasted crackers. That's in my wheelhouse. I could eat that with cheese and crackers just about, I don't know, every day.
Low key, and I agree with Travis here. Oyster crackers are good. I like an oyster cracker.
Back on there.
I like
so little.
I know. I kind of like being able to take a handful, just toss them in your mouth. Like it's nice.
BC, keep in mind, this is a guy that can run through about 6 bags of goldfish today. So
I'm on Cheez-Its today.
At least they're a little bigger.
I've never been a big goldfish guy, but I don't like to say that too much because the people who are very loyal to it. I mean, they would fight you in an alley over that, I think.
You're a big Cheez-Its guy, though, right, BC? That's kind of your gas station pickup?
Yeah, it's only a road trip thing for me. I won't like go to the store just when I'm at home normally for it. But yes, if I'm on the road, I will. Sometimes it's like every third road trip, I'll go Cheez-Its.
I like Cheez-Its. I'll mess around with the Cheez-It.
My favorite is Toasty, extra toasty. They are
good crunch. You got to get a good crunch.
That's why I like those Simply Thins.
Yeah, those are really good.
So let's stay current before we start portaling about quarterbacks, BC. If obviously intrigue is high, who's playing, who's not playing. I do think they're going to get guys like Sierra and McCullough to play, which is always a good thing. What position group are you most, it's your job. You want to cover something. What position group interests you the most?
Running back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of the easy answer, I guess, but it is definitely that. It's just I've been excited to see what Ike Mosey can do throughout the season because I do think there's something there. He's a bigger kid than some people might think.
He's bigger than me.
I mean, what you say, he's like 208, 209. So I mean, he's up even above Em in a little bit in weight, and I've liked his burst, and I actually thought even though it's such a small sample size, whenever him and Mackay got the ball in some of these Big Ten games late for their couple of carries, they ran hard. They ran.
It always looked like they were getting ready to come out of the back end.
It looked like they knew what they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mackay's going to score. I hope there's an anytime prop for him. Mackay will score in the bowl game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what they're going to be, but I have not been one of those people who has been like, what's wrong with the running back room? If they want to hit with Emmett, they'd have nothing, that sort of thing. And that's out there. And so I think because of that narrative that floats around, this is an opportunity to, I mean, we'll see either way, but show that, yeah, they have some goods, and that doesn't mean you can't add to the competition through the portal or that you shouldn't. But someone could go a long way in being sort of the name we're talking about, leaving that bowl game from that position. And so that's interesting to me. And also the fact that I don't like a lot of things about this matchup on paper, but I do remember sitting, I think it was at a press box up in Penn State, and watching a bizarre box score of Utah and Kansas State, where it was like 51-47, and K-State was running for all over the place on them. And I'm just saying, people have run the ball on that defense. And so I'm curious if Nebraska can bring it in that fashion.
Beast, it's, sorry, I got sidetracked when you were talking about guys saying, well, if they hadn't hit on Emmett, it's like, yeah, well, if they didn't hit on Amir, they'd have been in trouble too. But here we are, like that's true of every good player ever, isn't it? Pretty much. Like,
yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I don't think I misrepresented. I feel like that's been a top. I don't want to act like everyone's been saying that, but it's been sort of out there that they haven't nailed the running back recruiting and all that. And I'm not of that mind until we actually see what the guys can do.
So a very, very hypothetical and not at all real question. If you had $3.5 million, how would you spend it to build a football team?
Man, that is good. I think if we're just to simplify it, which is the only way this brain works, is to I'd be heavy in the trenches as much as I can and supplementing your D line and O line. Now, those aren't sure things either. There's some guys, for instance, last year that Nebraska went after at tackle that wound up at other places, and I don't think they've lit the world on fire for probably how much they're getting paid. So you got to be very sharp in sort of your evaluation and analysis of what someone can bring for basically your rate of return. But I love the idea of building this team from the inside out. Obviously, the quarterback conversation fascinates me because I think you take a couple big swings, but the bottom line is just like, bring in someone that can make TJ compete at a high level and let it and put the ball down and go from there. And I kind of look forward to that in a way, having a quarterback competition like that. That's one thing I'm kind of excited about as I try to kind of transfer my thoughts into 26. But to your question, trenches is where I start. I think if you're looking around at even like what Texas Tech did this past season, there's no guarantee you're going to nail it with every guy, or that injuries are going to go your way once you get them here. But if they could get a dynamic guy or two on each side there to what they're developing, that can change the picture in a hurry.
BC, so I think it's fascinating because I was talking to Coach Rule this Saturday, and he's breathing heavy, and I'm messing with him. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, man, getting back after it, and, coaching D line, and he's, snow's on my ass, and I'm just like, it was all like, so sometimes I have my sense of humor, like I'll joke and play a lot, but he's being pretty serious, right? And he's like, Snow is saying this and Snow is saying that. And I looked at it as like almost role playing, where sometimes you always ask yourself, okay, what does this team need? What does this relationship need? What does this job situation need? And so for him, he's attacking this D line like coaching again. He's
Yeah.
allowing himself to receive information from a positional guy, and he's like embracing it. Am I reading too much? Is it too flowery? Is it, oh, I love Coach Rule so much? But it just seems like there's something to that when impressionable people see people in positions of leadership doing whatever it takes for the greater good. And oh, by the way, they're actually pretty good at it.
No, that's his specialty. Phil Snow talked about that last week. He said, I told him, put your hat on backwards and be that D-line coach again. And actually said, if it were me that were the DC, and it won't be going forward, but I'd have him as coaching that thing every year, because he has a very strong track record. And I think if the guys didn't know that, they understand it probably pretty quickly working with them. There's a reason why he rose up the ladder to be a head coach. It starts because you're really good, at least at a particular part of coaching a position group or something. That just doesn't happen that you work your way to head coach. And so I answered running backs to the first question you guys asked about, like, your intrigue spot. But I mean, D-line is right after it, because there's just so many guys that, as much as we talk about go get this or that from the portal, and I'm one that does that, one of the biggest keys of this whole program right now is there's like 3-4 guys you think of on that line who you're like, man, if they could find another gear as they get 1 year older, it can look a lot different. And I know that's a scary, like, to be out on that limb for people. Like, I don't know if I can trust like how fast or how much those guys are going to develop, your Cade Petchocks and your William Wineries and Keona Davis types. But yeah, if I'm Coach Rule this December, I'm looking at those guys like, we've got players in that room that a lot of schools would love to have and I'm sure are trying to get right now. Let's maximize these dudes as much as we can and get every drop out of them. And so I do think there's probably some extra energy over there with him, and obviously Eck is coaching the ends, it sounds like, Mike Eckler. And I can't imagine a world where they don't bring more juice to it. That's not even a knock on who's been there previously. It's just kind of knowing those guys and how they would get after it.
Let me ask you something. So I'm watching all this Utah tape, and it's all 22 in terms of how they play and the two quarterbacks and how they run it and their run game. And I look at them defensively. There's a couple of things I think Nebraska can potentially do. Which one do you think is more likely if they want to try to come out of here with a victory? Is it controlling the ball, like time of possession, the ability to generate first downs, and because they're going to have to get them off the field too. The thing that people talk about with third down conversions is you have to get some stops too, right? So they're uniquely connected. Or being like havoc, where you create these situations in which Utah is uncomfortable on offense in some third and less than manageables. Which one do you think would be more likely to happen?
More likely, I would go with the controlling the ball scenario. I don't know, but I try to guess where you're going to answer sometimes, and I think you might say the other one by the way you frame that question. But just based off what I've seen from this particular team, and it can flip in a bowl game, we all know that. But I would say have it be one of those games where you, on offense, you're just really efficient in getting yourself with solid runs on first down, where it's like 3rd and 3 and 4 type spots, and TJ's sort of cooking in those scenarios and is just sort of clutch throughout the game. And then, as you mentioned within that question, the defense will have a couple moments in this game, as good as Utah is on offense, where you do have them, like, maybe it's not even 3rd and long, but it's that 3rd and 5 play. And when you're an underdog, I just think you have to really maximize even more so on those at like a 5 to 10% higher than you would in a game where you're the favorite or something. So I would say ball control and that sort of game. And I think that is actually possible because if you do look at Utah's track record, as good as their season's been, like I brought up the Kansas State game, there have been squads that aren't like in the playoff, like K-State, that they got a lot done on the ground against them and were controlling the ball pretty well. So that's my answer. But I'm interested that you asked the question because havoc plays have not been in high supply when you look at like TFLs, sacks, or just like enough disruption for my liking. Like I think of Michigan State as the one game where I felt like they really got in a quarterback's kitchen and were in his head pretty early on with Aiden Childs. But aside from that, I don't think they've done that enough or bothered quarterbacks where they felt that. And so that would be an awesome development for these guys if they're springboarding into 26, if they could have that type of game.
So you think, because what happens when people get after Utah is they play a man, they're super snug. And they play downhill. So it's not necessarily it's a heavy box. But Utah gets in a lot of these formations where they're condensed and sometimes they're spread. Like I could see a situation where Nebraska like pre-snap, not to get off. I mean, so basically I'm saying like they'll play with 7 or 8 in the box at all times. And maybe man more than we've seen here in the last handful of weeks. Like I could see that being a thing depending on who plays up front for Utah.
That's all very interesting. The game itself is I told you guys last week. I know everybody else was with other topics for good reason, but
like they're playing to win.
Yeah, this game's it. Yeah, this bowl game. This is a good bowl game because Utah, of course, we know what they've got with Whittingham's last game there and all that. But I think Nebraska's got as much motivation for every kid that's going to be on the field or is with this team right now to go kind of put their stamp into what's happening next year. I getting away from your question a little bit, but yesterday at the podium, you had 2 offensive linemen and Tyler Kanak and Pritchett, who, by the way, I thought Pritchett was very thoughtful and good up there. I just think the way they talked about like Jeep Wade and Lonnie Teasley and sort of I know it's the first impression and obviously guys aren't going to get up there and speak, with ill will about their new coach or anything or say anything negative, but you could tell that that had started off in a good track. And that's interesting, just like how they can respond in this short time with them. And if they get a little bump from that, possibly even though they have a new coach.
Can I just say something about that? Because this drove me crazy, and I just need somebody to talk to in BC. You're very safe. Ravi, that guy sucks, so I can't tell you.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Ravi, leave the room so me and Damon can talk.
Hey, geez. So the whole, because I think it was really, really tough on Coach Rule with what happened with Donnie.
Yeah.
And the degree of difficulty. And it bugged me for a long time just because of the dynamics between Donnie and Dom and Dylan and coaching O-line and, get rid of it versus block better. And then the scope got narrowed and it drove me crazy. It was, well, Donnie's good, but who's like, how do we, what's with the tackle development and let's do this. And I'm like, okay, what are we basing that on? Because opinions are cool, but the data tells me that Corcoran is better playing tackle than when he was inherited by Donnie Raiola. I'm only going by watching the last game at Iowa, right? Where there's some plays he should have made, yeah. But remember, we'd left Corcoran for dead.
Mm-hmm. Left Bryce Benhart for dead.
Gatula, we forget about this. Freshman Gatula played, and they won with him.
Mm-hmm.
No one on the planet, not named Andrew Rogers, thought Gatula was going to be a good player when he was recruited and put him in his Super Six.
Especially not that early.
He's a tackle. You mentioned Elijah Pritchett, which it tugs at me a little just because I'm around EP sometimes, and I kind of know his story. I know his delivery. I know how he talks. I know it would have been easy for him to pack it in like the first 7-8 weeks. Right? Nobody's saying anything good about you. And he hung in there. A lot of that has to do with Donnie and that coaching staff. So can a couple of things be true at once with the development? And if Pritchett turns out to be the kind of player that he was recruited coming out of high school, because remember, the great vaunted Bama left him for dead, right? Nebraska fans almost did. Pretty good culture development going on here.
Yeah. I mean, definitely multiple things can be true at once, like you're saying. I mean, Donnie,
and I'm not vouching
Donnie,
for Donnie. I'm just saying
no, I got you.
It's so linear. And it's not. It's nuanced.
This is probably, I don't know. Maybe it's me with the pom-pom sometimes, but every coach who gets to that level, usually, they're a pretty darn good coach. I usually look at it that way. There's a reason, like, Donovan Raiola got to be Nebraska's O-line coach for 4 years, and it's not the reason some people say. He studied from guys who were some of the best at their craft. You know, like there was a Harry Heistand and some of those guys. And sorry if I'm mispronouncing. I just write the names. Sometimes I don't say them out loud. But he was developed as a coach by some of the more respected, names in that field. And so he knows a lot of stuff. And what you're hoping for now with Nebraska football is a guy like Elijah Pritchett takes the best of all of that, right? And at different position groups, like John Butler's not here anymore. That doesn't mean there's not some insights that he had, especially when he's a secondary coach with some of those guys that they can still apply. Well, Addie's teaching them now. And the same goes obviously with the O-line. Jeep's going to have his different way of doing things. And, maybe they'll have more success. Maybe they won't. But there's tools that you can take from him and also apply the stuff you kind of got from Donnie in some aspects. And so I think the best players understand that. And they realize, like, this is a business. There's going to be changes. But if I can always learn a few things from this guy and then a few things from that guy, at the end of the day, I'm going to be pretty darn good.
Yeah, I would
just hold that name.
Go, okay.
Go. That's on me. I should know what I'm dealing with.
I would give a lot of credit to a lot of those guys the way you were talking about BC. The thing I would be curious about as we kind of go into this bowl game, you talked about it with Jeep Wade a little bit, and then also with Eckler kind of coaching the ends, is just how much difference, because I think we'll learn a lot in how different it looks over the course of basically 4 weeks, right? Then we'll know how much of it was schematic, how much of it was mindset, how much of it was the voice in their ear. Does that make sense to you, or is that still not a big enough sample size?
I mean, it makes a little sense. I am not gonna like go overboard like it with they have some challenges, but I mean, with the fact that Jeep and Lonnie just jumped in like with the O-line and like you do get that like adrenaline rush, I think, of trying to prove yourself to a new coach and all the stuff that goes with it in the initial meetings. But as like Dana said, when he arrived with 3 games left in the regular season the one year, that was like the toughest week or weeks of his coaching career, is trying to kind of get up to speed like on the fly when there's a game right in front of you with exactly how things are done here. And so he, as Dana said yesterday, he can have sympathy for like Jeep and those guys right now, what they're going through a little bit. So yeah, there's going to be I'm sure some challenges or roadblocks that come for those guys in this game. If I were to thinking about your question, I'm really interested in the defense, and just like when Phil Snow was up there and talking about, can we get 11, just getting 11 guys to play as one, and we'll live with the consequences. And he had that line that a lot of people hung on for fair reason. Like, believe it or not, there's some guys weren't didn't have the calls, or they weren't getting their calls like late in the season there. And obviously that's sort of an alarming line. Also, I said this, like, I'd almost want to hear that there's something like that paired with what we saw with the defense the last 2 games, because at least there's sort of an explanation connected to it about why it went off the rails so much. And so if you want to be glass half full, I hear a comment like that from Phil Snow, and I'm like, well, if they can at least just get those guys dialed in 11 as one, where everybody's on the same page pre-snap.
All right, BC, hang on.
We'll
Wait 30 seconds. BC, hang on 30 seconds. We're going to call you right back. Shane, hang up immediately. Call him right back, and I want to finish those comments. Since he's on the phone, it's pretty easy. Is that good, Shane?
I think he was running through a little bad service area there.
Yeah, that's fine. Shane,
Yeah.
I need to know that you hear me.
Yep, we can try it again here.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, it's
I
not
just
going to
want-
work. I'll call him again.
All right, I just want to make sure you're with me. Just do exactly as I tell you. Hang up. Call him right back.
I think
he'll understand.
I think he was, as I was trying to listen to his pixelated robot voice there, just kind of.
Shall we play a game?
I thought he sounded kind of like the. Oh, you're not a big Star Wars guy. He kind of sounded like the droids in Star
I
Wars. a
know
little bit.
Star Wars.
Like the prequels.
I'm
a
just
little-
not multi-watching the same episode 64 times.
Oh, sure you are. You don't really rewatch. Do you rewatch anything?
Yeah.
What do you rewatch?
What line do you want from Gladiator, 300, The
Oh
Equalizer?
yeah, I forgot.
Oh, any line where we're
Where you what?
Jaws.
You're about to do some serial killer stuff, weren't
No,
you?
no.
All right, he's logged back in. We
I've
can
done
try
some
it here.
bad things.
Let's
Things that I'm not proud of.
BC.
Hi, BC. Are you back?
Nah, I don't think he's back.
He said, nah.
I'll call him again.
What's wrong with the phone? I don't need to do the login thing.
I think I think he's logging in from StreamYard, but without the video.
Guess what?
I'm just saying. I think that's the login.
So you remind me a lot of somebody that I talked to a lot during the course of the day.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that I said 5 or 3 minutes ago?
Just
call him. Call him. Like
I can't call him. Right?
Don't do it your way. Just do what I ask.
I can't call him.
We could have
right?
cut through the whole logging in thing. Just call him. Cut through the chase. There's a reason I said that.
Cut through the chase?
I mean,
like Chevy?
Is that too hard?
Chevy or Jamar? You big Chase guy.
You know what? It's not, because he's right here, Damon.
Chase Brown?
All right. BC, are you back?
Yeah, I'm not supposed to have a bad stream like that at my age already, but apparently I did.
See, like Asian Wyatt, he gets it.
You gotta go get that prostate check there, BC.
I'm a very quick processor, so if we're struggling with the dial up with the voice, just go to the phone. I'm just trying to skip through the particulars.
Not
as your former colleague would say, Stephen Mauricio Sipple would say, I don't know, call him up. All right, BC.
Hopefully it wasn't
back
too
at
bad.
it.
Hopefully it wasn't too bad for more than 10 seconds there. But
No, you're good. Go back to the
I
reverberated
forget-
answer. It was pretty good.
What were we talking about, actually?
You were talking about. I asked the question about how much difference the 4 weeks can make, and you were getting into the Phil Snow answer about the 11 playing as one.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where it finished off, but if you want to be glass half full about it, that's one of those where you're like, oh, that's kind of alarming when the guys, some guys didn't have the calls, as he said, believe it or not. But
I believe it.
I'm like, well, yeah, I do too, but from what we saw. But I was thinking, well, if Phil and those guys can at least get them pre-snap, where you feel like everybody's at least on the same, looking at the same map about what they want to do, I'm interested in where that takes them as a defense. And so it was one of those comments last week that was sort of alarming as an explanation to what was happening near the end of the year, and also one where I took forward into this game, and I'm like, well, let's see if they can apply some stuff that's fixable, perhaps, and how big a difference that can make, because I do think you can look at like a lot different defense and play a lot faster if you just get your communication on point. So I guess that thing that was so disturbing is also a thing of like optimism for me for the defense going into this bowl game.
So BC, I want to get to something, because this comes up a lot about what Nebraska should do, how they should spend money, what they want, who they need to go get. And I told a story the other day, BC. I'm just going to give you the cliff notes because we're already keeping you super long, and I know you're with your sig fig and you got things to do. But, I was talking to Coach Rule about recruiting, and, all these junior college offers had gone out, and he just was taking a moment to express how difficult it is to recruit profiles now with competitiveness and tough guys. And, people want to bring their trainers and their nutritionists and their grandma's, friend and all these things that come with offers. And he said, he goes, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'd rather go 8-4 and do it the right way than go 10-2 and be stressed with gray hairs because I've compromised myself. Like, I'm paraphrasing the last part, but his point, because he had named a few coaches, and that's his business. But he goes, I'm not going to be that guy. That's like the 7th or 8th time that he said, we're not going to do it the way that everybody else is doing it, with either the tampering or the reaching out or whatever. And I get the is it perpetude? Like, I get the moral compass, because I think he believes, he's not calling it karma, but I think he thinks if you just do it the right way long enough, it will work out. It's why he struggled in Carolina. He didn't like the transactional. People compromise. Like, I think he just wants to do it the right way for the long time and think that it will work out in the good. Nothing, delusional. I admire the resolve, get with the times. This whole portal thing and players coming and going. You heard Canucks comments about money versus team. Like, are we I don't think it's myopic. I think over time it will work if we allow time to happen. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I like that.
And you
mindset.
could tell me I am, right? Because are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do totally. I think you can have that mindset that you're saying that Rule spoke to you about, and still be on the cutting edge with a lot of different ideas. It doesn't mean like you're not playing the game, trying to play one step ahead of people in ways that you feel are proper. And that's what they're trying to do with some of the things they've taken on behind the scenes. But no, I respect that sort of. This is how we do things around here. And I watched your signing day show fully, and the one thing that stuck out to me was you were asking him like what you're kind of looking for in a player, and it was like you didn't even finish the question. It's like competitiveness. Like, it's just like, it's that guy. I mean, I think Ja'Cory Barney's always an example he uses, but you're just looking for those dudes that, when it is a night like 37-10 at Penn State, that want to go in the game with 2:30 left and still try to make a play, like they're out there with their, like they have their whole life. And so you're just trying to stack as many of those guys with as many of with as much of that mindset in your locker room as you can, with the belief that over time that has to sort of bump you over the edge and get you to sort of where you want to be if you get enough of that. And I do think it can happen. Obviously there's challenges and there's questions in the air to answer, but that's why they've made some big coaching changes, and they're shaking things up in some ways, and we'll see if they nailed it on that stuff. But I do think you can have that mindset and build a program that way and still win. It's just about finding enough of those guys to put in your locker room that make that become a reality on the field.
BC, do you think, this last one for me, I know we kept you a little extra long here, but do you think there's any part of Nebraska, the coaching staff, and Coach Rule specifically, that kind of looks at the way they went about things, not that they compromised when Dylan committed, but thinks, maybe we shouldn't have? Do you think there's anything they'd want back in how they went about things over the last 2 years?
I don't know for sure. That's I've thought about that too. I don't know. I don't want to put words in their mouth, because in that situation, you have a legacy kid who's a 5-star, and everybody was so excited about it, and you feel like this is a moment you need to capitalize on. So you obviously sort of go toward it. When it happened, I'd be lying if, and I'm not speaking like in hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
When that happened, I was wondering, like, is this exactly going to play out on the path they were sort of on, or does it turn it a little bit? Does it reroute the map just a little bit to what they were doing, or sort of the direction they were headed? And you think about some of the names, of course, back then that were they were after, like that given week. You had like your Kyle McCords and stuff like that. So you can't kind of help but play the what if game sometimes as a fan or media person, like how does that step led to the next step. But the bottom line is, I think they did what most people would have done and what was probably the right move in that moment, and you can't go back on it. Now you just have to be like, all right, what's the next step ahead for us, and how do we get that position playing at the highest possible level, and how can we also use this moment with what happened with the quarterback leaving, and there's money there to build up our roster in other ways that maybe can benefit us. So you always have to look at what can be an advantage from what some might see as a disadvantage for you.
Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7, BC. Appreciate the time as always. We will talk to you next week.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, B.
That's Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. We've got Andy KENDEIGH coming up next. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. Let's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Great leadership, and we got good high character guys, and character always wins. That's one thing. When you got high character guys, they're going to bounce back. They're going to respond, and that's probably when you go to recruit. That's a huge implement of aspect of picking the right guy with the right character, because he's going to respond right in big moments. He's raised right. No one's perfect, so. But we're in an imperfect sport, It's called wrestling. It's not called doing moves. So, but people get too caught up in that, So it's about having the right guys, and we have the right guys, and we're healthy. So we had 5 starters out last time against. So.
love Jeep. Jeep's an amazing coach. He has great energy, brings some great swagger to the room. We're all going to miss Coach Raiola. He did an amazing thing for us. I mean, me personally, he brought me out of a place I didn't know I was going to be put into, and did a lot in my own life that I could be more grateful for. I really hope that he finds that next job wherever it may be. But bringing Jeep in has been a great addition to the unit. Also bringing in Coach Lonnie as well. We've been two amazing hires that have really influenced a lot of good energy into the room. Different coaching style, different coaching techniques, so it's been fun to learn it. Meeting room's a bit different, practice a bit different, but it's been fun. Coach Raiola, he believed in a really historical technique with the Joe Moore Award, what Joe Moore used to teach. And, it was a lot more hands inside, a lot more fast pace, eyes down kind of thing. With Coach Jeep and Coach Lonnie, it's been a lot more, let's take it as a whole, take it as a big picture, kind of more universal blocking styles, if that makes sense, on different schemes, different plays, less specific, if that makes sense.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Andy KENDEIGH from KETV. Andy, what's going on, man?
Good morning, boys. What's happening?
AK for Channel 7. How are we doing?
We're doing all right. Tyler Knock. Well, how do you? I'm waiting for Tyler Knock to break out into "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch."
Yeah, he like that.
I mean, doesn't he kind of sound like that?
Oh yeah. So we were blown away. I told these guys, he was on the recruiting panel a couple of years ago. The coaches pick a couple of guys when they bring guys in for visits that you can ask questions without the coaches around. And Canuck was that guy, and I was like, is he 60? Or is he 20?
He does have an old soul, and man, that was one of the all-time podium visits,
yeah.
Especially for a guy who hadn't done that a lot.
Yeah,
so
he's a really good ambassador. I remember David Sanders Sr., his dad, spent 25 minutes talking to Canuck after that session. So I was like, yep, I get it. I'd gravitate towards him too. He's just pretty good ambassador, and you can tell he gets it. And he's authentic too, right? He's not a guy that needs a lot of babysitting.
Yeah, and and those fellows who went to the podium yesterday, you got to, they were going to get hit with the Dylan questions, and everyone handled it like champions. I thought, I mean, it's a tough deal. They've got a guy who one of their brothers and teammates taking their talents elsewhere, and but if we haven't learned anything in the last year or so, is that this is more and more like a business and more like professional sports, and you just got to kind of move on, turn the page. You got a game in 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks from today that we're going to be out in Vegas ready to tee up against a team that fell probably one game shy of the playoff.
AK, I get it, right? It's easier to call up old gas can and get the hard-hitting takes post Dylan Raiola's announcement, so I don't feel offended. But I'm curious. That's a joke, Andy. It's a joke. You could laugh with me. How do you find the ground to know when to ask players about other players from it's not even a moral compass. It's what do you call it? Journalistic integrity. How about that?
Sure.
Where you want to know, because you have a job to do,
right,
but you understand the self-awareness of the situation too.
Yeah, there's a human element to it, right? I mean, these are human beings. Take everything outside. I mean, these are guys, and if one of your friends is going elsewhere, I mean, that's a delicate situation. I just think you got to just be human when you ask that question, and to the credit that happened yesterday to the reporters who asked, I mean, people get it. It's especially something that big. I mean, it'd be one thing if it would be a role player or what have you, but it's your quarterback. Obviously, there's going to be questions surrounding your quarterback, especially a guy with that much fanfare surrounding him. So I do think that in that situation, that's pretty it's pretty obvious that question's coming. It's just the way it's presented, And I think the more direct I think you can be, the better, because I think guys appreciate the fact that you're not trying to, trying to hem and haw and trying to beat around the bush. You just, hey, it is what it is, and you just had your friend go to decide to turn the page and go try to find greener pastures elsewhere. And how does that affect this current team? And from a personal level, sure, it's a tough pill to swallow, but from a practical and football sense, you got to move on. And you know, you knew you weren't going to have Dylan in the bowl game anyways, and now you got to move on and try to put your best foot forward and prepare for a damn good football team. So that's I think that kind of the paradox you're dealing with. You know, you're dealing with what the human element about, hey, this happens. This is the life of college football. Like it or not, this is where we're at here. And guys can just, you know, it's free agency every year. But in the here and now, shoot, you got a game to play, and if you don't prepare accordingly, you're going to get your doors blown off by a good Utah team who's going to be playing inspired football for their head coach, who's coaching his final game at that school. So that's the reality of the situation. That's the tough part of all of this, is that you're dealing with all this stuff, and yet there's a football game to be played, and all eyes will be on you come New Year's Eve.
Andy, how much stock, if any, did you put in terms of which actual players were made available yesterday? Because those aren't guys we've heard from much, if at all, this year outside of Dane Key. But, you know, whether it's Pritchett, Canuck, Nelson, Mosey, those aren't guys we've heard a ton from over the course of the season. Did that stand out to you at all?
Well, yes, it did. And it is, I do think that there's a method to the madness, right? I think that you look down your roster and you say, okay, who would be a good representation? And what Damon said on TV, you hit it on the head. Canuck was a perfect choice yesterday. That guy is, you know, I was like, okay, I thought they were going to bring out Lutovsky, but Canuck was a terrific choice but we didn't know that yet. You know, not knowing him as an individual, but he just blew everybody away yesterday with his answers and his poise. And, you know, Dane Key is a good choice too, but I do think, you know, like, here's the thing, like, you bring out the two running backs, obviously that's going to be a big storyline, and you bring the two young kids out. And I do think it's on a platter for you. You're going to talk, about Nelson and Mosey, before the game regardless. So you put them out front and center and you kind of get their feet wet here. Before you head out there. So, I do think that you go down. They just don't look around the locker room and say, okay, let's take this guy and we'll take this guy. I think that you discuss and you say, okay, who would be a good representation on a Tuesday 2 weeks before the game? And there's not even that many more opportunities before you get out to the bowl side, you know, because they kind of dial it down for the Christmas week. It's kind of an interesting schedule with the holidays, you know, because you're starting to ramp up here, and then you kind of let it simmer for a week to get through the holidays, and then you really ramp it up when you get to the first couple of days of bowl prep and once you get out there, because they're going out the 26th, and I just think it's an interesting schedule. So to have those guys represent the team yesterday, I thought was great choices, and honestly, it really made a lot of sense. There wasn't any guy that you're like, why are they bringing this guy up? It all made sense, you know, and the Pritchett story, too, I think is getting kind of brushed under the rug a little bit because of all the stuff happening yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think he's really, you know, in terms of development, I think he's a guy that I think we'll look back on this year and say he made some strides. And if he continues to turn the corner, I think that we could look at this month as like, okay, this could be a turning point for him. Moving forward, because he's got all the skills and potential in the world, and he's a guy that Nebraska is going to desperately need to really take a step if they're going to make the next step next year as a team.
I'm going to ask this question really, really slow, AK, and it starts with
Thank you. It's early.
If you could pick a position group. So, AK, if Nebraska's going to level up and they're going to play in a way that you'd like for them to play in the bowl game, which position group would you pick to level up based on what you've seen transpire over the course of this previous season?
Ooh, great question. You know, I mean, the initial knee jerk for me is the defensive line because of what you're looking at, because of Utah's attack. But I do think it starts up front, and you can pick. I like the offensive line. I'm an offensive line guy, and I think that I'm interested to see what impact that Jeep Wade will make in such a short period of time, if that's even possible. But I do think it's been reinforced this year that you got to get better up front on both sides of the ball to take the next step. And I think that was, accentuated in the last 2 weeks of the regular season. So I would start up front with those offensive and defensive lines.
I thought you might say quarterback.
Well, you know what? I do, but I think quarterback is such an X factor. And I think, here's the thing, like the quarterback thing for me, like TJ Lateef right now, if I read Dana Holgorsen correctly, I mean, he's not even, he can't practice in full right now. So what are you going to expect from that position? It's kind of a unknown, right? I mean, I just want to see TJ Lateef healthy enough where his full bag is, where his bag of talents can be utilized properly, where he's got all the tools. Now, if he can't run, I mean, I was watching some of the Iowa game yesterday when I was going through finding, video clips, and man, I didn't realize in the moment, but after every throw, he's basically throwing on one foot, and that's no way of going through. And if that hamstring is still bad, I don't know. I think if obviously time is going to help him, but and that's why they're treating him with such kid gloves right now, but because you do not want to tweak a hamstring like that. Because if you guys know, if you tweak it, those things are so delicate, you have one setback, you're going to be out, right? So that's why he's being, he's taking mental reps right now. So the quarterback situation is such a great unknown. I don't even want to dip into the pool there. So, that's the other thing about bull practices, guys, that I think is interesting, that we get a little more access on site, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what that looks like with my own eyes. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see a little bit of the practice. And if TJ can't go, what are your options behind that? And but right now, I think that it didn't sound like the alarm bells weren't ringing for TJ. I think he'll be able to answer the bell when game time comes. But I do think for Nebraska to have any chance to compete in this game, TJ is going to have to be, if not full strength, but close to it. I mean, that's my take. I mean, without TJ, I think, oh boy, this picture isn't going to look very good.
AK, what do you have on tap this weekend?
Oh boy, it's a great. Well, first of all, the immediate Rob McCartney's last show, fellas. An era is coming to an end in local media.
I can't believe it.
How long's it been?
I know. I think it's been 75 years, 80.
I'm telling.
He's been around. So
I'm telling.
He's been around as long as I can remember, AK. That's why I asked.
Yeah. I mean, people grew up with watching Rob. It's true. I kind of joke with him. I said, "Hey, Rob, what was it like when President Lincoln was shot? Were you there at the Ford Theater?"
And he's so graceful. He probably just handled it like with that voice. I tell you what, AK, it was.
Everyone's.
The whole John Wilkes Booth thing is pretty overblown. What do you think?
I say, hey, how did Omaha handle the Great Depression? I mean, how was it like here?
Definitely telling.
What was the first College World Series like?
Yeah, right. Wow. When it moved to Rosenblatt, what did you think? No, I mean, he's my guy. As you guys know, he is the all-timer and the best, and he will be sorely missed. And he's going to be, and it's so funny, and you guys know him, and DB, I know that you know Robin, and he gets so uncomfortable when it's about him. Yep. And this has been the most uncomfortable month for Rob McCartney in his career, because it's all about Rob. I mean, people are throwing parties for him, and there's actually a little luncheon that we're doing for him tomorrow, and he's just like, enough already, people, just let me go away. And he had to be talked into having a celebration for him. That's the kind of guy Rob is. And truly, all jokes aside, he's the all-timer. Tomorrow at 6 is his last show, and he's been there 35, 40 years, and he's the best. And for a guy who came in from a different market, from a different state, not knowing what's up and what's down, he really is. he is the reason why KETV has been KETV's for so long.
It's not like he's a Wisconsin guy or anything.
I know, right?
Those are unforgivable.
Those Wisconsin guys.
I know. I think I've made amends over my 15 or 16 football seasons, if you can believe that.
Yeah, beautifully done. I'm gonna ask you a last hard one because it's kind of fun and maybe not. If you had to predict, by the time you hit end call, who will be most like their current record when the season is over? Creighton or Nebraska in basketball?
Oh, most like it?
Yep.
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I mean, Nebraska's not going to be undefeated. I think we realize, but I think Nebraska. I think Creighton is not going to be this 500 team. I think Creighton's going to be different. I think Creighton's going to make a step. They always do, and they're going to figure it out, and they're going to figure out a rotation that works for them. And the guys who want to play is going to play. They're going to play the way Mac wants them to play. So I think I lean a little bit towards Nebraska. I think Nebraska is not a flash in the pan. Now they're not going to go undefeated.
Yeah, but
let's
just say top 25. Creighton kind of middling, or Nebraska top locked solid top 25 all season.
I think Nebraska's going to be top 25. I do think. I think all the tools are now, injuries notwithstanding, knock on wood. But I think Nebraska is more likely to be in the top 25 than Creighton is going to be a middling 500 team. I don't see Creighton being a middling 500 team. I think they're better than that, and I think their best basketball ahead of them. I think Nebraska is built for being a top 25 and hanging around. If not top 25, just right outside the top 25. Now, I don't know if they're going to stay in the top 15 all year, but I'll tell you, this is a team. I think this is a team built most to not even win a game, but to make a run in the tournament. I do think that they have all the pieces in place. They're old, they're experienced, and they're talented, and they're scrappy. And they do all the little things that you need to do to win. And I really like what Fred Hoiberg's built over there.
Andy Kendi, KETV. Give Rob our best. That's awesome. He's been around since as long as I can remember here in the Omaha market. So appreciate your time, and definitely appreciate his time that he's given over the past few decades to the city of Omaha.
And no disrespect, AK, as you guys have juggled my times over the years working with you. He's the only guy that I could run into at almost any time you guys tell me to come in.
Yeah, I know. The guy, I don't know what he's going to do now. I mean, his wife, I told him, I said, Sherry's going to be sick of you. The over-under is 3.5 days. 3.5 days, and I'm taking the under. So, poor wife. I really fear for Sherry's mental health.
He better start golfing or something.
That's right.
AK, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, AK.
That is Andy Kendi from KETV. That is.
What say you?
I think it is. So when you went top 25, that changed the question for me. Initially, off the bat, I was like, well, in post or in Big
They're
Ten,
clearly not going undefeated.
Yes,
so
right.
Let's just say a top 20 Nebraska, or Creighton kind of trying to find their footing.
I think it's more likely that Creighton is middling, but that's not because I don't think Nebraska is going to be a top 25 team. It's because Mac clearly does not like this team. Does not like how they've currently been playing. That to me is more telling than what I see on the court. The number of times he had to be like, we don't do this. We can't do this. I can't play. I finally found 5 guys I can play with. He clearly doesn't like how this team's playing or how they're acting. So to me, that makes that. But that is, I do think Andy's right. I do think this team has this Nebraska team matchup dependent. I'm going to hold judgment until I see the Michigan State game. Matchup dependent. This Nebraska team has a shot. That's we've got Mitch Sherman coming up next year on Hurrdat Sports Live. We're back to back. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be right back.
TJ's been kind of slowly working his way into it. We're being kind of cautious with it. The worst thing in the world that could happen right now is to turn him loose in a full practice, and he re-injures the hamstring, so those things take a little bit of time, and fortunately we have a little bit of time here, so I'd sure like to be working with him more. He's obviously still in a developmental stage in his career, so not having the full practices is that's what it is, but he's totally engaged and taking a ton of mental reps and going through all the Indy, he's keeping his arm, keeping his arm in shape and doing all the drills, just kind of doing it at his speed as opposed to being in like team settings where he would have to like pull the trigger on some things, So we're just kind of being cautious with it right now.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrist Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
I would say it's been a lot of ups and downs, but for the most part, I feel like I've made tremendous improvement on and off the field, whether it's film study, just extra work, and just putting my all into it and just taking it day by day. So I feel like it's been going good. I feel like I really like improved because like I would talk to like Rule and stuff like that, like just me just being in the game just helps me just get accommodated to like just playing. Like if you do something for a long period of time, like you're going to get better at it regardless. So I feel like just me getting those reps will really help me. So I feel like they've been tremendous additions to the room. They bring great energy every day, push us to our limits, and just even though they just got in, it's like we've known them for months. So it's like I just feel like they've been a great addition to that room. So excited to see where he takes us.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, how are we doing this morning?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Mitch, we're pretty good, man. Not a ton of complaints, man. What have you allowed yourself to understand that Nebraska actually has a game to play, or are we just around the kind of the other stuff from a media standpoint?
Have not probably faced that reality in the way that I should. It doesn't really matter if I do, but in the way that the players and coaches need to really face that reality. And I've not gone down that road too much. Thought some about the game, looked at the matchup a bit, considered the ramifications of who's missing for Nebraska and what's going on at Utah with Kyle Whittingham stepping down. But beyond that, no, haven't given it a ton of thought. And I think that's kind of what bowl games are in this age of college sports. Unfortunately, if it's not the college football playoff, then it really just becomes an exhibition game. Unless you have something on the line like Nebraska did a year ago when it was the first bowl game in 8 years, or Utah's situation this year where it means more because of a coach stepping down after 20 years. So when we get to the week after Christmas and the game is 3-4 days away, I think I'll probably give it some more thought and dig into what the ramifications are for Nebraska if it wins or loses. But right now, yeah, it just kind of feels like this. There's something out there that they're going to get back on the field and play. But I'm of course have been focused more on what's happening off the field and what's to come in January.
Mitch, you're one of the handful, just a couple, 2, 3, 4 maybe, that have insight across the board in terms of family dynamics with the Raiolas, and I'm certainly not going to spend more time on this than necessary. But when you're kind of looking at how it all played out, how quickly did you reconcile how it actually did come to fruition?
Probably reconciled, or came to understand the dynamic, if that's what we're talking about, before the news dropped on Monday. If it had been something different, if Dylan had ended up staying, I think that's what would have required more of an adjustment in the mindset of exactly what was going on. My thought, once not one but 2 other Raiolas parted ways with Nebraska, was that the separation was underway, and that Nebraska was moving in a direction away from the style that Dylan Raiola brings offensively, and that Raiola was moving away from Nebraska. It was an easier split because of the fact that he wasn't practicing this month as he rehabs from injury. So that made it somewhat more smooth. I think if he had been taking reps for the bowl game and then this happened, maybe it would have happened sooner. I'm not sure exactly how all that would have played out, but when the pieces started to fall on Monday, the dominoes with DJ Lagway, and
it got expedited in a hurry, didn't it?
I think it did. Yeah. Brendan Sorsby, like all of a sudden, big name quarterbacks who were going to be atop the list for major players in the portal are declaring in the way that it happens today. They're the agents are declaring and leaking to the media who's going in. Like, I'm not surprised at all when the time came around and we heard that Dylan was going to join that group.
Mitch, you kind of mentioned the dynamics that led you to believe that to be the most likely scenario outside of the Dayton and Donovan puzzle pieces kind of falling into place or falling out of place, I guess. Was there more there that, because I mean, from my standpoint, and I don't know anything about their family dynamics, I sat here through Monday and said, yeah, I think there's a chance that he still stays. That seems to not have really been on the table for you. Why was that the case?
Oh, I don't know that it wasn't on the table. I thought it was trending in this direction. I thought that there was, I thought they were drifting apart. The two parties, in part because Nebraska was Nebraska still a pretty good distance away from being a college football playoff team. And I think of course, Dylan and the Raiola camp like set the bar high as to where he could help lead Nebraska and where Nebraska could help take him through his growth as a college quarterback. And I think he wanted to be closer to playing on the big stage by this point in his career. You can't plan for an injury like that. There's a lot of things as you go through a college career that you can't plan for. That didn't stop them from, having a vision of the way that this was going to work out. And as he goes into year 3 in what it was, he may end up as a college quarterback for more than 3 years, but initially coming out of high school, the plan was, all right, let's do this in 3 years. So the track is accelerated. And at first he was on a pace to remain on that accelerated path, starting as a true freshman in your first game, taking a lot of responsibility and leadership and being the face of the program even before he took his first snap. That was all, I think, on pace. So you see the accelerated path right there. Well, it doesn't match up in where Nebraska's at in its progress. So if you have 1 year left and the intention is to get to a certain place in this sport, by the time those 3 years are done, to me that indicated that they were they were kind of moving apart from each other, and you could see the way that Nebraska's offense was evolving, and through recruiting, and just through what works in the Big Ten. And I think that it's clear now that Nebraska wants to go in a direction where it has a quarterback who is more of a dual threat, and in that sense, Dylan stylistically wasn't the best fit.
So you've mentioned a couple times now the two sides moving apart from or away from each other. I think publicly, a lot of the perception was that most of the moving was done on the Raiola side of things. How much of that do you think? How much of the movement do you think was on the Nebraska side of things, whether it's just philosophically in the offense or whatever else?
Well, I mean, I think it was the Nebraska side of it was a little bit more reactive to what Nebraska, self-evaluation, and Nebraska looked at what was working for it offensively and what would give it the best chance to win in the Big Ten. And so it wasn't like Nebraska went into this season or last season saying, well, we're moving away from having a quarterback who is more of a traditional pocket passer. But you go through one season, you go through two seasons. It's easy to look at what worked against Nebraska, and that's part of what I think a self-scout involves is, hey, what did we have struggles with, and what gave us fits in the month of November. And I'm not really talking about the Penn State game because that was the running backs doing the damage. But against Iowa and some other teams on Nebraska's schedule in the middle of the season, it's tough. It's tough when you have to. It adds so much to the offensive arsenal. And I think there are some programs that are better equipped to, Miami, for instance, to have a quarterback. And I'm not saying he's going there, but to have a quarterback that's more Dylan style. Nebraska's probably in a place with what works for it and like the players that it's best positioned to put around the quarterback to have that player fit more of the mold of what Nebraska's traditionally seen. You think about Nebraska over the past decade, and there have been, there was a year with Tanner Lee, but most of the quarterbacks who have come through this system, from Taylor Martinez to Tommy Armstrong to Adrian Martinez, have been in that dual threat mode, and not all of them have succeeded, but some of them have. And I think it's become more clear that that's the direction Nebraska wanted to go. All that said, if Dylan had wanted to come back as a junior, Nebraska would have embraced that, I believe. And let's go set the clock back 2 months. And if you go back to October and, you make a bowl game and he doesn't get injured against USC, you win that game, you beat UCLA. Like, if things are moving forward, and Holgorsen kind of touched on this a little bit on Tuesday, it could have all played out differently, and Nebraska would have been happy to go down that road.
Mitch, if you had to pick a game and you're going to say, oh, because of this game, this is how I see the rest of it unfolding, whether it's staff changes, Dylan, whatever. Would you pick Minnesota or would you pick UCLA?
I wouldn't pick UCLA. I think UCLA, okay, I see what you're saying. UCLA, I think, showed Nebraska what it can get from a quarterback who either is TJ Lateef or is like TJ Lateef. But,
and remember, Dylan and those guys had to watch that game too from their perspective.
Yeah, right. So from Dylan's perspective, I do think, yes, that game factored into ultimately the decision to move on, but I don't think it was a big factor. I don't think he looked at that, or his camp looked at that, his family looked at that and said, well, all right, they're going with Lateef. No, I don't think they were scared away because Lateef had a good game and they had a nice game plan and executed it well against UCLA. I mean, keep in mind it was UCLA.
What about the other way where they said, that could be us? Why wasn't it?
Well, it's not like Nebraska intentionally made things difficult on Dylan because with the game planning, but they could, their eyes could have been opened a little bit to the fact that, like, maybe Dana was better suited to call a game for someone with TJ's skill set. I don't know. Again, I don't think that's a big thing because they were trying to make it work. And I think for the most part, maybe I'm wrong with this, but I think for the most part, that Dylan believed that Nebraska was working to put him in a position to succeed. It's just that not everything was coming together. There were issues, of course, with the protection up front. There were a multitude of things. So I don't really think there's that much about. And like probably could have a more of a detailed conversation about this. I haven't considered that there was a lot about the UCLA game that like forced him or pushed him in the direction that he went. I think more Minnesota and USC like got Nebraska to the place where it is now, like made it very clear that some things were going to have to be different going ahead in order to satisfy everyone, in order to get Nebraska to enter the next season with the right feeling. Coming out of this year, to me, the Minnesota game, and then of course the Penn State game, they loom large in what you're seeing now this month with the changes, and like well beyond the quarterback change, the coaching stuff. Those things are those games are prominent.
Walk me through the USC scenario, kind of, because bringing that up, where you think that impacts or how you could see it playing out in terms of what we see Nebraska move to or towards in 2026. That's fascinating.
Well, I was saying the hypothetical that Holgerson brought up on Tuesday, that if Dylan never gets hurt against USC, then he thinks Nebraska wins that game. I think Nebraska wins that game, finds a way to win that game. If that one play goes differently, then you maybe get points on that. You probably get points on that possession. And so my thought on USC and like where USC fits in all of this is that if Nebraska wins that game and then beats UCLA on the road, and who knows what happens in the last two games, I'm not ready to say that one of those is a win, but I think the games look differently. And Nebraska has 8 wins, maybe even 9 wins going into bowl season. Then I think a lot of this all looks different in December, for better or for worse. I mean, sometimes you get to a situation where you say it was better to rip the Band-Aid off, and if change was needed, then it's best that you make the change. And I don't know, I don't know if it could have been, if you're just covering up your problems at that point. I mean, Minnesota still happened, Michigan still happened if you beat USC, but that I think that like the feeling around Nebraska football would have been a lot different if Nebraska had gotten over that hump on November 1st and won a game against a ranked team. And that would have been a really cathartic moment to celebrate victory in that stadium on national TV on that Saturday night. It could have changed a lot. Like Nebraska might have gotten to a place that it's just was unable to get without that kind of a win. So yeah, when I talk about USC being like at the crux of things, as like a fork in the road, that's what I mean. It's just that it might have, things might have all been much different this month if he hadn't gotten hurt and Nebraska wins that game.
Mitch, obviously you're a journalist and follow stories. I'm kind of curious, how much do you think or anticipate you'll follow the rest of at least Dylan's college career as he moves on from Nebraska? Is that something that is kind of on your radar that you're going to keep an eye on?
I mean, for sure at first. It depends. If he lands in the Big Ten, then more so. If he's at a team that's on Nebraska's schedule, then more so. But yeah, I mean, there's a curiosity, like for sure. And there are people that I know who I know him, and I know people around him. So yeah, I will absolutely keep an eye on it. As time goes on, depending on the level of success that he has. I mean, if he becomes an NFL starting quarterback, yeah, I'm gonna definitely have my eye on him for as long as he's playing. If not, I don't think I'm going to be checking the box scores every week and to see if he got in the game and threw a pass or whatever. It depends on the path that he takes.
So, Mitch, let me ask you something. If because at some point we'll transition, probably 7-8 day window, closer to Christmas, maybe or after the first round of the playoffs, we'll like zero in on Utah. And if you could wave a magic wand
and a particular position group would have to level up to keep your interest as a fan on the 31st.
Mm-hmm.
What position group is it?
Defensive line. Yeah. I mean, going into that game.
You're reassured. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, going into the game, when I look at it from the very beginning, when the matchup was announced or when we started to hear that this was a possible matchup, I thought, Utah runs for 250 yards a game, and Nebraska has really struggled to stop the run. Where if Nebraska's going to have to make a jump, where's it going to be? Like if there's one spot, I think this is what you're asking. If there's one spot on the field for Nebraska where it can make a jump and then turn this into a game that is competitive or even winnable for Nebraska, to me, it's the defensive line. Like you can't see the kind of thing happening that happened often this year. You think about the last two games and they're prominent in your mind, and they're probably the most obvious examples, but there were times against USC and Michigan and some other opponents, Minnesota, where the D-line also was getting moved, and Utah's good at that. So if Nebraska can find a way to level up on the D-line, play its best game of the year, then all of a sudden I become a lot more interested in what that game looks like.
So, like, if I said, Mitch, you're going to get all, this is fascinating because so far I've gotten 4 different answers, right? 2 have said D-line, 1 has said O-line, somebody said quarterback. So, like, the scenarios that I'm playing out in my head is if Nebraska plays at an elite level along the defensive line, you're not really as interested in how the offense plays versus if the offensive line is spectacular and Nebraska can control the ball and they don't get any better quarterback play or any better D-line play, you think the game still plays out accordingly. Or if the D-line plays the same and the O-line plays the same and they get elite level quarterback play, like those are kind of the scenarios that I'm walking through in my head, because if Nebraska wants to if they're playing to win this game, one of those, somebody's going to have to step up, right? So that's kind of where, or maybe it's wrong. I don't know. I mean,
I can't really envision a scenario where Nebraska's D-line plays the way we've seen recently, and the Huskers control the tempo, the rhythm of the game, just strictly from an offensive side. I mean, you could have 2 teams that are going at it and are both winning the battles when they're on offense. That could happen. That was kind of the Kansas State game for Utah. But no, for me, it's more about the defensive line. I don't think the game's going to go that way. I don't think it's going to be 41-37. I think for Nebraska to win, it's going to have to push back and win some battles, win quite a few battles when it's on defense against Utah. Shut some things down. You're not going to hold them to 75 yards rushing, but what Texas Tech did, and that's an elite defense. But
yeah, they jammed that box, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They said throw it over our head. I mean, basically,
yeah.
Like, hey, you're just going to throw it over our head.
That's probably going to be part of what the game plan looks like for Nebraska, and the Huskers will be healthier up front on the defensive side. You think about the injuries that it had, not just on the D line, but it's not just the D line. Like, it's like the front 7 on defense. The linebackers are going to have to play a role in that. And I think was disappointed with the linebacker play for chunks of this season, but that goes hand in hand with the D line, because if the D line's the D line's getting all disheveled at the point of attack when the ball's snapped, it's awfully tough for the linebackers to go and find their gaps and make plays. So they work in tandem, but it can't just be 3 or 4 up front. Like, it's got to be 7 who are in concert to be able to stop that Utah run game. And beyond that, you're going to need help from your safeties.
Mitch, let's say that this happens on the D-line or in the front 7 specifically. Let's say that Phil Snow kind of simplifying things and getting guys aggressive and downhill works. What level of frustration will you have that it works against this level of team that I think we all agree is problematic for what we've seen at this point for Nebraska's defense. Like, angry might be too strong of a word, but like, how confused are you going to be that these same guys are able to do something with just not even a stylistic change, just sort of a emotional change almost with the defensive coordinator?
Well, it's a bowl game, and bowl games a lot of times look a lot different, and there's different motivating factors than there are in the regular season. If the change was made, let's say in a bye week in October or November, and then all of a sudden you saw a completely different defensive group. Like, look, when in 2022, when Mickey Joseph came in and Eric Chenander was sent packing and Bill Bush took over the defense, you saw a pretty big change in the way that the defense played, like from one game to the next.
Oh, yeah. Like after Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So, right. Like, I think that kind of a scenario can lead to frustration. At this point, if it's just in a bowl game, I think you have to look at what happened previous as water under the bridge. Like, it's almost like two different seasons. I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, there you go. Phil Snow should have been the guy all year and they would have won 10 games.
Now, because you have some sense.
Yeah. I probably won't do that, but I'm sure some people will.
Although, you know what would be funny? Like, let's just, like, anecdotally, let's just say the D-line kicks ass, and they're going to be like, well, why doesn't Coach Rule coach defensive line again?
Not even that linear of a, but like, if I see that these guys, like these same personnel people or guys that were on the team that are playing that maybe weren't during the season, are capable of holding a Utah team that I know exactly how they want to play.
They're 17-point underdogs, so you're not. I don't think this is hyperbole.
Like, if I see that, and like Utah's going for 270 on the ground a game this year and 40 points. If they basically do to Utah's running game what they did to USC's passing game and half both those numbers, I'm gonna be pissed with the exact same guys. Again, I'm not going to be like, oh, Rule should coach the D-line or Phil Snow should be the DC. I'm going to be pissed that those guys are capable of something we didn't see all year.
It's good that you would take that approach because you have a radio show that you can share those opinions on, and you wouldn't want to be in a spot where, like, what I'm saying is just like, oh, well, it's water under the bridge, no big deal, we're moving on to 2026. Like, no, that's not probably going to be the popular opinion among fans if that happens. But again, I'm going to look at it like. The bowl game
part is a fair thing. I would pull my hair. I might pull my hair out. Like, I think I'd lose it.
Let's just hope we get to that point.
Yeah,
that's a good problem to have. It's a good problem.
You're taking a leap. I do remember a game.
He's marked his territory though, so I already know how it's going to go down.
Yeah, we know what right. You've claimed that. You've claimed your outrage before it even gets there. I do remember a bowl. You said 17-point underdogs, and like my mind flashed back to a bowl game where Nebraska was a 17-point underdog a long, long time ago. And
in '93, I remember.
Yeah, they played pretty well in that one.
I remember. You know what's funny? You guys, that is so you. So, Mitch, let me ask you though, because you're measured and kind of calculated, and I like kind of the controlled aspect in your delivery. Is there a way in which Nebraska can play that would change the way you think about anything that happens officially or should I say pre-portal officially opening?
Mm-hmm. Okay, here I'll go to the offensive side. Yeah. It's like my opinion about what Nebraska, the thing is, Nebraska as a program behind the scenes in the personnel area, the stuff that Pat Stewart runs, has to come to a decision. And these are decisions that'll be made with the coaching staff about what it wants to do at the quarterback spot in the portal. And Dana talked about this on Tuesday. Do you look for an older player who can bring that kind of experience and expertise to the room, or do you just double down on competition and youth? And that stuff probably has to be decided before December 31st, because you need to be ready to go on January 2nd, like before January 2nd.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's be real. So there's probably not a huge amount of change in the way that I see the quarterback spot that's going to come out of the bowl game. But yeah, I mean, I want to see TJ play another game. It's another piece of evidence. It's a data point, as the College Football Playoff Committee would say, in like looking at this and putting the picture together. Bigger topic though, or probably more relevant to the way that this plays out, is the running back position. They need to go in the portal at running back too, obviously, but do they need to get 2 running backs? Or are you going to be able to push forward with, like, what does Isaiah Mosey look like if he's allowed to be a featured piece in the offense?
Why do guys always start with Ike? Why doesn't anybody ever start with Mackay?
I'll go to Mackay.
No, don't default. I mean, Mitch, you're good at it. Like
either one of them. Like they both had their moment in the spotlight on Tuesday. So, I'll tell you why I go to Mosey, because I think he's got I think he's got a higher ceiling. I think he can be an all Big Ten kind of player, and that's not a slight to Nelson, but he's a different kind of back. I think he can be a good piece. I think he can be somebody that Nebraska has to hold on to, or feels like it has to hold on to, and a big contributor in the offensive scheme. But no, with Mosey, I think like he can be somebody that you're talking about on Sports Center at this point next year.
I mean, I tend to agree with Mitch. I mean, you know me, I've liked Mosey the whole time. Like, just think I
don't have a super strong, like, as I'm listening, I'm listening, right? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not ready to die on a hill yet.
Well, good. Nobody's trying to kill you.
I've just seen Mackay be more explosive.
Sure.
Okay.
But I also have to be smart and understand, it's not just situational or after 8 or 10 carries. Like, what's 17, 18, 19, 20 touches do? And
Mackay's been playing position longer.
And Mosey hasn't. Mosey.
I was surprised
back as long.
I was surprised to hear Mosey say on Tuesday that he played this year at 208 pounds. Because he looks lighter than that. I thought he played closer to 200.
I see you every week. He looks bigger than me. He's a big. I call him muscle.
Yeah.
Like, he's a big, strong kid.
Yeah, but he doesn't play like, the thought of him being 215 to 218 and adding more power to his game is really exciting, I think, for Nebraska and what he could be. So some of the stuff in the bowl game, to get back to your question, is I want to see how those running backs look, and it's going to help me shape my opinion on what I think they need to do in January there.
It's definitely got to be by committee, though, right? I mean, Emmett was really good.
Unique in his ability to get stronger as the season went on, when he's getting 20 to 25 carries a game.
If you could get a $150 combined from the two.
Oh, you take that?
That's not super unrealistic. It's going to be interesting.
No, they could do that.
That's Mitch Sherman, The Athletic. Mitch, have great holidays. We'll talk to you in some point, probably not till 2026.
Okay. If that's the case, happy holidays, happy New Year. We'll see you on the other side.
Hey, when are you getting to Viva Las Vegas?
Damon, I'm going to a college football playoff game that weekend. So, and this is not because I'm trying to get out of it, but the Athletic is going all in on covering the CFP. So I'm going to be in a place on New Year's Eve. I'll be watching the Nebraska game from Bourbon Street and covering Georgia versus Ole Miss or Tulane the next night.
Yeah, call me dumb, but if I had to place a wager on my national championship, I'm going with Georgia.
I picked Georgia. I picked Georgia in our staff picks. Georgia over Oregon is my selection.
Oregon. A lot of people
kind of weird
of the 5, but if you want to be, you got to be different.
I just looked at the matchups and I somehow was like, I think Oregon can beat Texas Tech, and then I was like, I think Oregon will get Indiana in the rematch. So that's their path.
How about Lanning and Signetti if they're going head to head in a revenge game? I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the locker room.
Yeah.
They're going to peel.
How about Lanning against Georgia in the championship?
Ooh, old school. So does Who wins Oklahoma, Alabama?
I think I took Oklahoma.
Talk about changing a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to be Kalen DeBoer and not win that game going into the offseason?
Yeah, it'd be ugly.
Uncomfy. That's how I would put it.
For a guy,
I think Alabama comes into
really
Alabama's
high
limping
regard.
into that game. Alabama's clearly limping into that game after the performance against Georgia, and it wasn't great against Auburn. So I don't feel like Alabama's playing its best, and they already lost once to Oklahoma, and the game's in Norman. So there you go.
And Mateer is healthy.
Friday night. That's the probably the most intriguing game of the weekend to me.
I would agree.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. What are you going to eat while you're watching that game, Mitch? Are you a food has to match the event kind of guy, or are you just
man? You're just getting me. You're getting me to reveal all of my plans. I'm going to be eating some barbecue because
well, you're like the man of international mystery.
Guess where I'm going to be? I'm going to be eating barbecue. I didn't change. Hey, Nebraska volleyball lost on Sunday.
Yeah,
it was devastating.
Oh, you're still going to KC?
Yeah, I got to cover it. I'm writing volleyball. I'm going to be writing about Olivia Babcock or Craig Skinner or something like that.
Hey, a little birdie turned me on to Sarah Pavin's podcast.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah,
Sarah and her husband.
Yeah, go back and listen.
I've heard all about this. I've heard a couple snippets. I heard her interview with the volleyball state guys, Jeff and Lincoln.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually gone and listened to the podcast. But I have my in-laws are really into it, and apparently Sarah was way off base about Nebraska, saying that they could only be beaten by Kentucky. This is what I've heard.
And she, very, very tough. It's so in other sports when former players critique it, I think it's received differently. Volleyball, it's like, hey, whatever you think. It's okay. She pulled 0 punches.
That seems to be her style.
It's how she played, right? Like
it is.
And she's extremely bright. So it's cool. It's pretty cool.
Not a whole lot of like there's nothing soft about her. There was not on the court, and it seems that there's not in the podcasting space.
All right, buddy.
There you go.
Enjoy
She's a
your
killer.
Enjoy your cue. You going off the beaten path, or you tourist trappy mainstay guy? You don't have to
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue. I can go either way. I've done it. I can go to the hole in the wall, and I don't know what this weekend's going to bring though.
What is your go-to? I'm gonna guess pulled pork.
In Kansas City, no. Maybe on a larger scale with barbecue. It depends where you are. If you're in Texas, you got to get brisket. If you're in Kansas City, I like ribs. But I'll eat pulled pork, yeah, for sure. And the sides are what makes it, or what really kind of separates things for me between the KC spots.
Do you eat rib
tips?
tips?
They're all good. The meat's good at all those places. Sorry.
Do you eat rib tips?
I would. It's not really like my go-to. But
what about
like
burn-ins?
a half a rack. Burn-ins are fantastic in Kansas City. That's probably the best. Yeah, it's the best thing you can get. I can find in Kansas City. I'll go to Q39 and get some burn-ins. Oh.
All right. Goat status. Steve. All right.
That's our guy, Mitch Sherman. Mitch, enjoy your world travels and your holidays, and give you and your family the best.
Thanks. Same to you guys.
All right, buddy.
That's Mitch Sherman from The Athletic.
What's your go-to?
I'm a rib tips guy. I love rib tips.
Me too.
Brisket's too hit and miss for me, and I feel like people screw it up too easy.
What's last?
So at a restaurant, brisket's last because the low end of brisket is
pot roast.
Is inedible.
It's pot roast.
I feel like pulled pork is like my safety school. It's just like
definitely last.
But I'm gonna go I'm gonna go ribs or rib tips. I love hot links. I love hot
grossly
links.
underappreciated. Good on you.
Honestly, that's if I can't get one of those two burn ends. If I can't get one of those three things meat wise, then I'm at the wrong place.
And clearly because they're the hardest to get in bulk because of where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
So burnt ends always go quickly.
Yeah.
But I'm taking rib tips or burn ends.
Mm-hmm.
1A.
Yeah,
then probably the Lynx game.
I love hot links. I love hot links.
Pulled pork is
now the flavors
dead last.
Yeah,
but turkey is slightly ahead of.
So I don't even consider turkey like that's not even.
Really?
No, God no. I don't eat turkey.
I'm just talking about it's not ideal.
No, turkey's no. I will take turkey after brisket. I will roll the dice on brisket before I order turkey. If I'm in a place and I'm down to should I get the turkey? I will order just sides. Turkey's trash. I'm not eating turkey.
I'm not here for lobbying for
Ravi.
It's just
I'll be
funny
like,
how resolute it
all right,
is.
I'm going mac and cheese. Give me some potato salad.
Are you a keep it simple guy? So is that why the pulled pork is the fallback?
Yeah, pulled pork. If you can't do pulled pork, close the restaurant. I'm not saying it this. The ceiling is not high on pulled pork.
Everybody has their benchmark of if you screw this up, you're not a good place. For you, it's pulled pork.
For a barbecue place, if you can't manage pulled pork, what are we doing?
Yeah.
If you can't manage a pulled pork sandwich, go out of business. Shut her down. We're done here. Right? I understand brisket is challenging to do well, so I'm I'll give some leeway on certain things. I understand hot links, the flavor and the amount of spice.
So I couldn't convince you. And listen, I'm not here lobbying for turkey. It's just because I don't love it out of an oven. But good smoked turkey is pretty good.
So I'm not a huge, again, you know this about me.
Oh, yeah, you're not a heavy smoke guy.
I'm not a heavy smoke guy because I want to taste the meat. So if the thing that saves turkey is the smoke flavor, I'm out.
Your delivery
sucks. I'm just, you know what I mean?
Oh my Lord!
I don't even know why barbecue places serve smoked turkey. What are we doing? You got a million other things you can do better with your time and your meat. What are we doing?
Are you a grits guy?
I like grits a lot. Yeah, I love grits.
Yeah.
I'll do nice cheesy grits. I like shrimp grits. Yeah, I like grits a lot.
I asked. I went to I took a lift to a breakfast spot in Tulsa, and it was sensational.
Really?
And
is there anything like finding a low key awesome breakfast place?
Yes,
it's
I was blown away,
off the charts.
And so, I asked her, I said, "Hey, I'm a big grits guy. This is gonna sound weird."
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "What's that?" And I go, "If I put a spoon in the side of cheesy grits, would it stand or would it fall?"
Yeah. You want to know the viscosity.
And she said, "Oh, big consistency guy.
Yeah.
Does the flavor matter?" And I was like, "Yeah, it does, but I don't want to be eating, clumped rice."
Yeah, for sure.
I like to get my cream game right.
You want a little bit loose, not soupy, but you want a little bit loose.
Yeah. And it came with chives on top. So after she watched me pick through it in a horrified manner, I ended up not eating it. But the flavor's pretty good, consistency. But the place in general, was spectacular.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm not doing turkey. I'm not doing. Somebody said they serve turkey because some people don't eat pork. Well, then don't go to a barbecue place, man. Or get chicken. You can't smoke a chicken. You can't do barbecue chicken.
Smoke chicken greater than smoked turkey.
100%. So what are we doing? Get that trash bird out of here. What are we doing?
Wow.
Why?
Come on, man. It's not good.
Just where's ham? Where's ham on the smoke?
Oh, I like ham. Ham's
so
good.
if you get a 4-way, what's going on your 4-way platter?
And
shout out to you folks that do 5s.
I mean, I'm not doing 4s. I'm doing 3s normally. But my top 3 are I'm going to do hot links, either ribs or rib tips, and burnt ends.
Call it good.
If you make me get a 4th, I'll probably do
Travis.
Fair. Same reason you're serving turkey at a barbecue joint. At least ham's from
he said, "Why are you serving ham at a barbecue joint?" I don't know.
I mean, I'll take ham over turkey, but at least it's from the right animal. And then I don't know for a 4th.
Dude, Action
I saw him.
He's a dummy.
I don't know what I would do for the 4th. What's your 4th?
It would be hot links. So I'm doing ribs, rib tips, burn ends, hot links.
Yeah, so that's probably what I would probably do, ribs and rib tips. I was giving one or the other, but I'll do both if I'm going 4. Yeah, that's fine. I'm doing that. I'm not straying too far outside of those 4 if I don't have to. Like those options. I know I like those.
And you're not even a snap guy.
No, but it's not
you don't like snap to the link?
It's not my favorite, but I like the flavor of it enough that I'll overlook that. But the people that are like, "Oh yeah, I love a good snap." Like that's weird. I'm not. What are we doing?
You like it cut up into little slices?
I will cut it up. Yeah. Not trying to
bless your heart.
Not trying to get that all snapped.
Getting tossed like a stir fry.
Not trying to get my snap.
Hey,
game
Cornflicted,
right.
Smoked whole chicken wings, even smoked party wings, are sensational.
I'll do smoked chicken wings before I do smoked turkey for sure.
Dude, smoked. I mean,
so chicken's the one thing I would because I
think smoked chicken is highly, highly, highly underrated. I used to buy it at the deli.
Yeah,
but its shelf life is like a day and a half before it smells like old molasses.
So chicken to me is like, I'm not a huge chicken fan, so I'll allow you to do some other things to it where I'm like, oh, I really want to, like, I'll eat chicken wings because I'm more interested in like the sauce and the coating and stuff like that than I am the actual flavor of the meat. Like the flavor of the meat has to be okay, but to me, the ceiling of the flavor.
Did you say coating?
Yeah, like the coating of the breading. I meant breading.
I thought you were saying codeine. Like,
no, I meant breading.
Like
I said
T3 times 10.
Coating. Sorry, that was one of those DET things we talked about earlier.
It's like you're into codeine now?
No, not today.
How's shoulder?
Is that like a saltine?
Save the salt and spicy. Dude, it's fire.
No.
Hey, what's up, baby? Did I not sound just like?
What's happening, baby? How you doing?
What's happening, baby? How you doing?
What's happening, baby? How you doing?
Hey, that's a secret.
Whoa, I got the boot in and the poor boy said, whoa, what's happening?
Look at this hot link, baby, soaking up that wax paper.
Paper.
You see that bite, though? Here comes another one.
That bite, though?
Kenny, I've never.
That fat boy cramp setting in. You know what I'm talking about. When you ain't been moving for a little bit, you get to eating too much and your ribs start to hurt.
What do you think he looks like?
Kenny, I've never had turkey eggs. I don't know what that is. I mean, I know what they are, but I've never had them. Like eggs.
Eggs?
Yeah, I've never experienced that. I'm probably good there.
Are those like Scotch eggs and it's a fancy name, or like literal legit turkey eggs?
I'm assuming he means literal eggs from a turkey, but I don't know. I have no idea, honestly.
Dank drops in duck. Duck was probably my brother and my dad's favorite protein.
I think duck's a little overrated.
It's a fatty bird.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite.
I mean, I'll rock with it, but it'd be a memento.
So when for as like fancy as people,
what's happening, baby?
As people seem to think,
what's happening, baby? How you doing?
For as fancy as like, because like you only get duck at like nice restaurants for the most part.
For the most part,
you know. So it's like fancy.
Confit.
For as fancy as duck seems, I wanted it to be better. Like my expectations of it were pretty high.
Seared duck breast though is en fuego.
It's fine. It's fine.
If you only knew how much I hate you.
I have a pretty good idea. You say it a lot.
You see that bite, though? Here comes another one.
It's water off a duck's back. No pun intended, huh?
I mean, listen, you say things enough times, it kind of just is what it is. As long as you keep showing up, there's not a lot I can do about it.
The guy hates me. Couldn't care less. Just be here.
If you stop showing up to work, I might have to reevaluate, but
you thought I was tough? This jump will kill you.
You can't hate that much.
You can't win. Oh shoot.
So Mitch actually said something there that I want to get to because
we didn't even get to your clat take today.
That's all right. We got time. It'll be a crappy take tomorrow too. It'll be fine. He said something about Dylan that like kind of it irked me a little bit. So I think we're gonna get to a place here where I'm gonna be pretty annoyed.
That's surprising.
It is in this situation, I think. I wasn't.
No, you being annoyed by something.
No, in general, yes. But with Dylan specifically, I wasn't in a place where I was prepared to be annoyed by this whole situation, I don't think. Like, I kind of understood leaving. I didn't think he was going to, as I mentioned, but I knew it was a possibility. I'm not super surprised by it. I kind of understand.
Hiroshima?
I don't think so. This is Omaha. Different front in that particular conflict. You good?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, I'm tripping. I'm sliding.
I think your delivery sucks.
Ravi.
You've mentioned that.
Do not complain about what you didn't get from the work you didn't put in.
So,
play the beat though. Let the beat drop.
That's all I have. I'm sorry.
Oh God, you sorry sapsucker.
So
hey, it was free though, right?
Yeah, free is so good.
What the?
Good Lord. Mitch mentioned the progression of Nebraska toward the college football playoff or lack thereof as part of an accelerated timeline for Dylan and his family and their decision. And the reason that kind of stuck in my craw a little bit is we've been sitting here for the last couple weeks, I think, that it seemed clear to most people involved that Dylan wasn't necessarily a finished product yet.
Mm-hmm.
So to have an accelerated timeline, when you know you're not a finished product, when your family seemingly knows you're not a finished product, when your coaching staff knows you're not a finished product, but then to still have the accelerated timeline as if you were a finished product, I think is wildly unrealistic and puts everyone in a really bad situation and makes it really difficult for anyone to do well. I think that is if true, if that's part of the process and part of the decision-making process, I think that shows a startling lack of self-awareness about your own situation. Because if you're Dylan and you sit there and you go, okay, I believe that someday I can be a first-round draft pick in the NFL. I think I can be an NFL starting quarterback. That's totally fine. You cannot also say at the same time that, hey, I know you can also say at the same time, hey, I know I've got a lot of work to do to get to that point. Now, if both of those things are true, which I think unequivocally are, then you cannot also say, hey, we're on an accelerated timeline. Two of those three things can be true at the same time. All three cannot. And put you in a realistic position to be successful, both as a program and the individual.
So the accelerated timeline for you is different than it being year 3, or is year 3 part of the accelerated timeline?
I think, well, if the accelerated timeline is he wasn't far enough along to continue on at Nebraska, I think that shows a startling lack of self-awareness because he's clearly better than he was last year. Nebraska is clearly better than they were last year. And by the way, I think everybody agrees that if he doesn't break his leg, they don't finish 7-5 this year. So where is the lack of progress? Is it at Louisville where they were 8-4 in the ACC? One game better in the ACC.
Why do you bring up Louisville?
No reason at all.
You're special.
No, On3's reporting that Louisville is interested. I don't have any inside information. That's on the internet. Like
ChatGPT?
Like $3.5 million. Like maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but.
It's GPT?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know what it stands for, so I don't. But like.
I just want to be like HBC or whatever.
Help a brother out? Oh, that's HBO. Home box office.
HBC, historically black college.
Oh!
I know that's a little cultural. I'm going to move on.
No, I'm a big Howard guy.
Why Howard? Is it the Duck?
No, I like Blake Harper's tape.
Yeah, Howard the Duck. That's a great comic book.
They also have some cool gear.
Said no one ever. What? Dude's been Rip Van Winkle for 10 minutes and breaks out a Howard the Duck cartoon?
Well, we finally talked about something he cared about. Howard the Duck? What?
There's like 30 great issues.
It's probably his favorite part of. Oh my God.
What?
I mean, the movie was great.
Just turn the chair there. You know what I mean? Like
Who knows how many comic book issues of Howard the Duck there were?
There wasn't that many.
That guy.
Oh.
That guy does.
Incredible. The accelerated timeline in his head, though, could have been, I expect it to be at this place at this stage of my development.
Again, I think that might speak to a lack of self-awareness. If you can't see, hey, I'm way better in year 2 than I was in year 1. Nebraska was better in year 2 than they were in year 1. And the reason the final numbers don't show that is because I broke my leg. Like, can we, like, that's a pretty clear line in the sand moment in the season.
That's interesting.
You know, like, that's where if that is true, I'm going to end up being pretty annoyed by this.
Why? Because you think that's going to be some narrative?
No, because I think it is.
What if Nebraska's timeline was accelerated based on rate of return?
I think Nebraska's
we don't even talk about like that could be a thing.
I think Nebraska's timeline was accelerated because they felt like they had to for the quarterback that was there.
Knowing what you know, would you pick a different game as the season changer of terms of how this played out than Minnesota or UCLA?
No, I think it was Minnesota. I understand UCLA because, you know, we talked about
there's a lot of dynamics that happened in that game.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, we talked about the Wally Pipp thing and whatever, and like I get why you brought up UCLA. We've talked about that quite a bit. I think from a coaching staff standpoint,
it was Minnesota.
That's where.
Is there a different game you'd pick?
Not for coaching staff.
I thought USC was interesting from Mitch's angle, the way he described it.
So I think USC is interesting because of what I just said about the timeline thing, right? We feel way different. I think we feel way differently about this season. If Dylan doesn't break his leg, they win the USC game, and I think they would have won another game.
So let me put it to you this way. Mm-hmm. If you were going to pick physicality or how Nebraska wanted to play offensively, which will be more important to next year? Because that may determine whether you like Minnesota or UCLA, because it changed the landscape for everybody. Nebraska's coaching staff, Dylan watching it, the perception of the fan base, what this offense is capable of, how it sparked the scuttlebutt comparing the two quarterbacks.
So
Coach Holgorsen.
There's a, you know, I'm a big.
Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah. You know, I'm a big strength and conditioning nerd, and there's kind of this philosophy that like, hey, everything sort of works if you execute it well, right?
Regardless of what it is.
Yeah, whatever. Like, there's no secret program, right? There's some concepts that are better than others, but like if you execute something.
Lincoln Riley is going through it with the Pilates and the stretching. And
yes, like
even though Stanford did it.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
right. I understand.
If you do something at a high level and execute it at a high level, it's probably going to work as long as it's not totally moronic, right? And I don't think anything in terms of what Nebraska wants to do offensively falls in the totally moronic category. So for me, the executing at a high level, the answer is physicality, right? If you can bring that to the table, it will fix or patch holes over or allow you to execute at a high level, kind of regardless of the other things you're doing. That's, I think, what a lot of people's issues with the defense was this year. I think that's one of the things that might be the thing that I found the most frustrating against Iowa was I felt like the offensive line actually was doing that. I felt like the offensive line was kicking Iowa's ass.
It's pretty physical.
Like they were imposing their will.
Yeah, they didn't have any problems with physicality.
Right? And so I look at that and I go, okay, if you can get the rest of the team to do that and get the offensive line to continue to do that under new leadership, which given Jeep Wade's history, I don't have a lot of doubts about, then I will take my chances whatever Nebraska decides to do philosophically on offense.
Okay.
Because typically, if you can impose your will on someone else,
the rest is overrated.
Sooner or later, you're going to win.
Yeah.
So
it can make scheme grossly overrated.
100%. Yeah. That's why
it's kind of my philosophy about Holgorsen and
the quarterback thing.
Yeah.
So that's when you said earlier when you say, "Hey, build from the outs or the inside out, and that will get you to win a lot of games." I think Iowa's a great example of this, right? Their physicality, their line play, their trenches, everything that gets them to their 8-9 wins every year. When they figure a few things out on the outside, that's when it goes from 9 to 10 to 11 sometimes, I think. Mm-hmm. But the base level is so high because of what you talked about. Like their floor, for the most part, is really, really high because they build from the inside out. When their ceiling gets higher is when the stuff on the outside elevates a little bit as well. But you give yourself a chance to not have a very low floor when you start there.
Yeah.
And I think Nebraska fans, and myself included, would be cool with that. Nebraska didn't give themselves an opportunity to start with a low floor the way they felt like they had to build around Dylan Raiola. And that's not, I don't think, anybody's fault. You're going to take that guy every time, and they should have. But I do think it changed philosophically how they were trying to do things. My personal opinion.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I mean, kind of have to. That's the job.
Oh, is that W sauce, baby?
Is that cool, Howard the Duck?
I'll take it.
Nobody. The Howard the Duck. Like, what are we doing, man?
This is Jade, man.
What are we doing here?
Ravi.
Like, I don't even.
Leah Thompson. I mean, she was cool in the movie. So
what?
In the movie?
What?
Are we back to Howard the Duck?
Yeah.
Who was the actress?
Leah Thompson.
I don't even know what it is.
I don't either. You know what I do know though?
What's that?
That there
She
was
probably play bed music.
that
Like
there
he's
was
actually
like
producing.
30 episodes or 30
He's
issues of the comic book.
Too busy Googling Howard the Duck actresses.
Oh, there's Shane. Why?
Do not complain about what you didn't get.
What I do know is
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Shane, is that a guilty pleasure?
I just want to get to our guest here, Gary Java.
Sure. It's the maddest I've ever been at Shane. If you want to learn as much about your
all right, go.
Can I get us paid here? Is that cool? You good? I haven't done one of these the whole show. We good?
We get off here.
Can we good?
Oh, I can wait.
Are you good? Can I get through this? Is that all right? If you want to learn as much about Howard as your finances as Shane does about Howard the Duck, make sure you go to the Enrichment Center at centrusfcu.org. In just 5 minutes, you can unlock personalized tools, resources, and content for your financial journey, and it's completely free to members. Go to centrusfcu.enrich.org to find out more, talk to experts, and get on your way to your financial goals. Federally insured by NCUA. All right, Shane, let her rip.
About what? I got nothing. I've been quiet all day.
Now he's got nothing.
Oh.
You want to talk to us more about Howard the Duck actresses?
No, I learned my lesson.
You got anything to say about W Sauce?
No, not so much.
No? You good? What about Gary Java? All good? That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Shane's over there somewhere. We'll be back tomorrow. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.